Man, shout out to Beyond Beats and Culture.
Welcome to another episode of Beyond Beats and Culture. I am your host and cultural commentator, Chase the Dark Sage, here with my co-host.
Hey,
And we're back here to talk about some more music because we are the hip hop show that actually talks about the music and we don't just chill with the drama. We are not music journalists. When you come to the show, you're basically just listening to your homies. It's barbershop talk, basically.
mhm.
We tell our opinions. We're not going to give you the straight facts unless we're talking about the hip hop news and current releases and things like that. When it comes to our opinions, the album reviews and things like that, the musical discussions, we're giving you guys our opinion based off of our experiences. And I want you guys to know that, hey, sometimes you might not like our opinions, but we're gonna give them to you anyway because we're authentic and we're raw like that.
And we're gonna
Uh,
force it.
what?
No, I'm joking.
But before we get into today's episode, we have a huge announcement. B. We
What's
are
up?
starting our solo journeys on the show to actually expand the YouTube channel itself, which you should be on the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button, like the video as well to help boost us within the algorithm, and hit the post notification because we are now starting our solo journeys on the channel to help broaden the horizon of hip hop topics and musical topics that we actually talk about on Beyond Beats and Culture, the platform and the show itself. Now, B, I understand that the show can sometimes run a little bit too long,
Mhm.
sometimes for some people's taste. And there's some stuff that you might be interested in that I'm not, or vice versa. Some stuff I'm
Mhm.
interested in that you're not. This is why we're gonna have our own solo mini shows, basically called our own interludes based off of our own names. When we talk about some of the stuff that we're super interested in, stuff that's super niche to us, and stuff that we really want to talk about, but we can't really find the time to actually really deep dive into it or actually expand or expound upon it within the
Mhm.
actual show's time constraints. So make sure you subscribe button because we are doing our own solo shows. We're not having a certain schedule where we upload it whenever or however we want. I mean, we do get to upload it whenever, however we want, but we're not going to be on a certain basis like, oh, every Monday we're doing this episode,
Mhm.
every Tuesday. We're not going to do that. We're basically going to do it when it feels natural, when we feel inspired, and when we feel like we actually have something to say and or talk about. So if you want to see
Facts.
more of that, especially mine, the Dark Sages interlude, where I kind of talk about stuff that I like that trap stuff. I love blog era stuff. There's just a lot of stuff that I know my co-host right here, he don't really care for like that. But me, the hip hop aficionado over here, the cultural
Oh,
commentator, I gotta talk about this stuff. I gotta bring this news to you guys. And my first episode will be going over Chameleon's return to hip hop and him returning back to rapping and him kind of like, talking about his new musical output and things that's going to be very exclusive to him and the fan base, especially with him and the community that he's really curating right here.
I
B,
think
what
I'm
is your
interested in that,
interlude
B.
about?
Oh, I think I'm interested in yours, B, because I didn't even know that. I saw
Yeah.
that when I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
But
the episode
mine,
is already like recorded. It's already recorded and
yeah.
edited. It's just it's ready to go whenever. You get what I'm saying? I'm just a workaholic over here.
Hey, my first interlude would be about 454 album. It came out in October last year.
Mhm.
Cast of a Dreamer. It was an album. Though, bro, I swear, if I would have listened to this album as much as I did like these last few weeks, it would have been in my top 10. It's just I didn't listen to it as much. I
Mhm.
liked it when I first heard it, but I wasn't like just jamming it, you know what I mean? Because it was
Mhm.
just so much going on music. So, but it'll be by 454. I want to break down a little bit like of his history as well in it as
Mhm.
well, because like I just feel like my guy need more recognition. He's
Hey.
so talented, so talented. You know what I mean?
Hey, and we're the
Yeah.
platform to actually talk about the music. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So if
Yes,
you are
sir.
interested in stuff like that, if you're interested in his avant-garde, very smartsy, artsy raps, go to his interludes. If you're here for the trap, ignorant stuff, and the more personable and also a little bit flavorful, like talks about hip hop, especially like
Hey,
I said during the blog era, hey, you come to me. You get what I'm
oh my,
saying?
hey, look me, look. 454, he has that trap influence too, bro. He's a little ignorant skater. You know what I mean? He ain't on no like, oh, I'm trying to be this super lyrical miracle guy. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, bro, I have vices too, B. I like little trappy stuff, but I like unique. You know, I don't want that generic trap. You know what I mean? I want that McDonald's trap music. You know,
What are you
give me
trying to
that.
say? You
You like
like
that
Boss Man
McDonald's trap?
D-Lo's album, remember that?
Hey, B, I haven't returned to it. It's McDonald's. I had it once, you know, I had it, I couldn't go back. You know what I mean? For me, I'm
Hmm.
not a McDonald's eater. You are.
Correct, but I know when it is McDonald's though, and I'll acknowledge that. But before we actually get into today's show, because we got a good amount of stuff to talk about, some new albums and new releases that are coming out. The wildfires in LA actually kind of affecting the hip hop music scene and industry and things like that. We also have two album reviews with The Game's 20th anniversary review for his debut album documentary, and we have a underground hip hop album review from Andy Cypress, EMBER2, and we got some discussions on whether TikTok being banned is going to make its mark on hip hop, and judging Rolling Stone's top 10 albums of the 21st century, hip hop wise, obviously. But before we get into that, just do some housekeeping stuff. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and like the video if you haven't already. And make sure you actually come to the YouTube channel, because this is the hub of everything beyond beats and culture. The interludes that we was talking about earlier will be exclusive to YouTube. So it'll be a YouTube exclusive series. So make sure if you want to be tuned into that, make sure to come to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We'll be listing them as podcasts as well, in case you have YouTube Music and you want to have a unique listening experience on there. Do that as well. But as usual, we are available on all other streaming platforms as well with this show right here. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music if you're nasty enough like that. But make sure if you are listening on those other platforms, make sure you show love on those platforms as well to help boost us within the algorithm and help us spread our reach, help us spread the horizons. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Timestamps will be in the description down below in case you want to hear certain topics, don't want to hear certain topics, or show notes of what we've been jamming, some of the news stuff that we're talking about, also some of the album reviews, and some of the new releases and actual current event stuff that will be in the show notes as well. And as usual, like I said, if you come to the YouTube channel, daily clips of the show is actually being put up, and shorts of the actual content is actually being put up as well on a daily basis. So make sure you hit the subscribe button on the actual YouTube channel itself to help boost us with an algorithm, and comment something down below. I don't know, comment like a red dot for the game. I don't know. You guys let me know. But B, before we actually get to the episode, how have you been since the last episode?
I've been sick, B, and I gotta get the whole thing right. If I cough, do I mute my mic? What do I do? I don't. Do I just cough
Usually
away?
what I
I think
do, I mean, I just say don't cough in the mic, because that's all I'll say with that one, because
yeah,
I understand. I'll do
bro.
something like,
Yeah, that's what I might have to do. Cause, bro, I gotta get my mic etiquette right. You know what I'm saying? This is new to me. I haven't been sick, while I filmed. But nah, we had a cool little weekend, man. Had a little snow. You know what I'm saying? Went out there, enjoyed the snow a little bit, threw a little snowballs, made a little snowman, things like that. Enjoyed
That's probably
that.
where you
And
got it from then.
nah, hey B, we had that boy out there while he was sick. He had to experience the snow. Come on. What type of parents we gonna be if we don't let him experience the snow, B? You know, he was
Understandable.
nose look running a little bit, but I was like, all right, let's get back in. We was out there for about 15, 20 minutes, not too long.
Mhm.
I made a snow angel, didn't go too well,
Right.
but I
Have
tried.
you ever
What
made a
about you?
snowman?
Yeah, we made a little one, a
Mm.
little snowman. But what about you, B?
All right, as well. You get what I'm saying. I'm trying to see what all I did this weekend. I started Saints Row the Third again for PlayStation 5. I played
I
it
ain't
on
played that in a
PS3.
while.
Yeah, I played it on the PS3. I beat it back then, obviously. But
Dang,
I started replaying it again for the PS5 version. It didn't age
two
well.
my
But
favorite.
yeah, of course, two is like a classic amongst all of
Hmm.
it. I don't know what happened with three, but after three, it just done lost its
They
way and
went
tried to come back.
superhero and all this type of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it was too and then the last one that came out, I guess it flopped. I don't know. But
Hmm.
yeah, the game is it's cool. I'm trying to think of what else. I started Sonic Superstars. It's a 2D Sonic game. And I was
Mm.
thinking about buying your son that for Switch. But
Mm.
then, I made sure I played it first, because I'm like, some of these
Right,
games
right,
sometimes might be a little too hard for kids.
right,
And
right.
it embodies the old Sonic games that we used to play back on Sega
Mm.
Genesis. And I'm like, yeah, no kid should be playing this, because I literally stopped playing because there was a boss so hard. I'm like, yo, like I'm done playing this.
Yeah,
Like
he
it's
probably.
like it's just too much.
And that's when I bought his Switch. I was talking to the guy at Target, like, yo, okay, what's kids friendly? Because that's why he was like, stay away from any 3D Mario. Because I was like, yeah, I don't want to buy him Odyssey, just because probably too much going around in there. Probably just keep him to the typical platformer
I
side
say
stroller.
Super
You
Mario
think
3D World. Super Mario 3D World.
Super Mario 3 is that the newest 3D one, right?
No, the no, that
Because
you're thinking of
Odyssey came
Odyssey.
out years ago.
That's the
Odyssey
newest
came out
one.
for real.
3D was a game that was on Wii U, but it got ported to Switch.
Oh, see, I have that one, allegedly
Allegedly, of course.
yeah,
Allegedly, of
allegedly.
course.
Okay, that they have that on Wii.
On Switch.
I mean, on Switch. I didn't
Mario
know.
3D World. It's called Super Mario 3D World, but then they also have an addition that they added to the Switch version called Bowser's Fury. So yeah,
Oh, I think I saw that. I think you're right. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I
I
might have to
think
give
he'll
him
be
that
able to
one then.
play that, and I don't know how it is with the Switch Lite multiplayer wise, but you
Yeah.
should be able to play with him too. So y'all could
Mm.
run
Hey, I'm
around
gonna
and
try to
have
get that
fun.
Switch 2 whenever it drop.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm
Yeah.
ready. I'll
You
sell a
know.
kidney for that.
Oh, hold up, B. You don't need to do all that.
Yes, I do. For the first week, yes, I do. That's gonna be worse than Black Friday shopping.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
back
you.
then, Black Friday shopping. Black Friday shopping now, it's definitely pacified.
Oh my
It's
God.
all
I
week,
remember.
so
I
you
remember
got
last
plenty of
time I went
time.
Black Friday shopping was me and you, bro. Like in 2015 or something like that.
Was
It
this
was
when I
like a
was going to GameStops or whatever to get the
Yeah,
mystery
bro. We went to
boxes?
yeah, bro. We went to like GameStop. Cause I remember we stayed. I stayed at your crib. I remember
Uh-huh.
your mom made like some Thanksgiving food before she left and went back home, and
Uh-huh.
like we stayed over. I remember that night. That's
Uh-huh.
the last time I went black for anything for Black Friday.
Nah, I
Everything
always go
else I've
Black
been
Friday
online.
shopping. I at least
You
I peruse. I like to peruse.
you still do it?
Yeah, yeah.
Not online?
There's some good deals. There's some good deals only because it's near my birthday most of the time.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
yeah,
okay,
of
let
course.
me peruse a little something if I get a little birthday money. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
So yeah. Yeah, but most of the time, it's most stuff I'm like. I think this year most stuff I got was online.
yeah, same. I got some stuff online, but I just haven't been inside of like, the lines anymore. Like growing up
Oh
as a
yeah.
kid, we used to go, bro. I mean, seeing people like hit you with a cart, like old
Hmm.
ladies and stuff, trying to get
Hmm.
to a TV. Like, come on, relax.
Well, I
I'll,
think this
I'll,
year Black Friday it was actually on my birthday,
oh yeah, yeah,
so it was like if I
yeah.
wanted to go do anything, I couldn't avoid any of that.
Hmm. All right, man.
Besides all that, what have you been jamming? Oh, my back.
See,
Oh,
I
I'm
told you,
telling
hey,
you,
you almost a
old
big 3-0
age.
this year, B.
Oh no, I'm turning from
Hey,
YN to Unk slowly.
hey, it's about to be your Stephen Curry year, bro. You about to be like Wardell Curry. You know what I'm saying?
Who's a
Yeah.
who's a good basketball player that has the number 29? I'm gonna turn that twice this year.
What basketball player has that number? Like, I know any basketball player with
See,
the number
I
29.
don't know anything about that, so that's all
Yeah,
you.
bro, that's
That's
like a
all
free
Nick can
agent.
say.
That's like probably like a free agent or something. Like he never made it to the league. You know what I mean? Undrafted. Um,
We get it. Trying to say something about the number 29 now?
all right. So my first project gonna be Funeral and Bev. He put out like an EP. I talked about him before. He put out an EP. He's from Boston, Massachusetts. He put out an EP called Roxbury Blues with 3 tracks on it. First track, Things Change. Second track, Mind State. Third track was Nazca Lines or whatever. I don't know what that means. But it's kind of a homage to like his part of Massachusetts he's from, I guess Roxbury. A lot of blackness into it. He actually standing in front of a mural of Marcus Garvey.
Hmm.
And
Talking
I
about the same
actually
one that Dr. Umar talks about?
yeah. I actually enjoyed this little EP, man. 3 songs. I like the production on it, like Ambell rapping. He really fits well on like really like slow beat, boom bap type stuff. But he adds his Boston slang to it. Dead dogs. I don't know if you heard that before. They be like, I put that on my dead dogs, on the dead dogs, and all this type of stuff. But I enjoyed it. I'm ready for like a mixtape or an album from him. I thought it was gonna be an album because I went to his Instagram and he was like teasing, showing a picture, and then he was like, "Oh, my project out," and I'm like, "Oh snap!" Like, but it's 3 songs. I'm like, "Come on!" I enjoyed the 3 songs, but come on, I need more, bro.
Hmm.
I needed more, and I just think he's an artist that needs a little more recognition, man. He's really talented coming from out of
Awesome.
Boston right now. Out Massachusetts has a little wave in the underground, like in that type of underground, not the underground with the kids underground. You know what I
The
mean? Not the play
YN
park,
underground.
yeah, not the YN underground, but like the adult music underground. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. The
But they
back
have a
more
little move,
backpacker
the more
adjacent underground.
backpacker. But Funeral and Bell, if none of you guys haven't heard of him, uh, he's a really dope MC out of Boston. But Roxbury Blues, it's a little EP. It says Roxbury Blues single, but it's like an EP, 3 tracks, 10 minutes long. I really enjoyed it. Dope. So
My first project I want to talk about is gonna be short because it was just a deluxe version of what we already reviewed. Lil Baby's Wham, the extended version. I'm gonna be the guy that always, whenever we talk about albums, If there's an extended version that comes out, I'm gonna go to the extended. Like I'm going to listen to the extended songs. I already listened to the album in full. I don't know how many times for the actual review itself, but I went to the actual extended songs. I believe he released like 4 extra songs. He was doing a video this weekend with Jules Santana in there looking like a crackhead. I don't know what was up with Jules Santana. He had the hoodie on with the bandana on top. I don't know what's wrong with Jules, man.
He think it's
Dipset is just
'04, bro.
no, it's way before. No, he has to be thinking it's a different time, like something. This has to be a parallel dimension, Joel Santana. This guy used to be so cool back then, back when him and Lil Wayne was making music. He was looking like a crackhead, He was almost on Felicia level, like from
You,
Friday. I don't know
you
what
saw he
was.
was moving. You saw he was moving, just
Yeah, he just looked
stumbling
so
back.
weird. And I was wondering, I'm like,
Because
why is he in this video right here? I
they
think
was in Harlem, I think.
yeah, but I mean, he also, Lil Baby also mentions him in the song too. So that's why I was like, okay, that makes
Oh,
sense.
I don't
Yeah, so I was
remember.
like, why is Joe Santana like here? But yeah,
Yeah.
Lil Baby added 4 extra songs on there, 99 with Future, Idol, Running This Ish, and My Shawty. This literally sounds like more songs that could have been on the album. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they are technically on the album now because he erased the original version and only has the extended version on streaming.
Mm-hmm.
These songs did nothing for me. Yeah, waste of time, waste of 4 songs. They don't even add up to 10 minutes, which is good because I didn't waste too much of my time on this. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this just wasn't. There was just nothing there. Like I don't know what's wrong with Lil Baby, and I want to make a video on the interlude talking about my turn, and maybe it was the best and worst thing to happen for Lil Baby. But this right here, I don't know. I don't know. Like this was more of the similar production where I feel like it was trying to be too aggressive that time. Like so, like the production will be good, but it'll do something like it will do something really random in the beat, and I'm like, well, come on, man, you messing up the vibe right now. So yeah,
Like,
Lil Baby's Wham extended version,
mm.
don't check it out. But what you about to say, B?
So the song that they shot the video for is on the extended version.
Yeah, it's called 99 and it's with Future.
I thought they was shooting the video for the one with him and the Dumb Dumb and Dumber.
Mm-mm.
I was like, I don't remember him mentioning Jules Santana in that, but
That's why I was saying in this song right here, he says
yeah,
something
that's
about
why. Yeah,
Dipset,
that
I
what made
think.
me think about it. Yeah. But
So yeah, yeah, like I said, Lil Baby's Wham extended version. It's a no. What's your next project, B?
my next project is from Niontay, Demon Muppy EP. Niontay, I think I'm pronouncing it right, but I started listening to him probably like 2023, I think around that time. But he run around with like Earl, Mike, El Custo, and all them. So this EP actually had the first song I ever heard from him on it, Real Hip Hop with Earl Sweatshirt, El Custo, and Mike actually featured on it. But he's one of them rappers. He's from Florida. He has the wicks in his head. He looks super grimy. You don't want him around. You don't trust him. You think he gonna steal. He one of them. He
Mm-hmm.
looks like that. I'm sorry, bro. If you see this, bro, you just look dusty, bro. You look like a Florida jit. You
A
don't want
heathen.
around you. A super heathen be. But
Mm-hmm.
he's like he could get like I wouldn't say lyrical, but he be rapping really well. I like it. He's like he do the slick talking. Like he say little fly stuff sometimes, but he raps on that same type of production like Mike be doing now. And it kind of give you put you in the mind of like Detroit rap, kind of the flow, but not as funny. And you can hear the Florida accent. And he actually
Does
produced
he
his own
sound like
stuff.
Kodak?
Not really, but you can hear
Mm-hmm.
the accent. He produced his own stuff too, like on some of his stuff. Like some of the best songs on here, he actually produced. Uh, no, I'm thinking of the other project. I'm sorry, I mixed up the projects of what the songs he produced. But anyways, I can still talk about that project. But he actually have a feature from my guy, 454 on here. They actually known each
Okay.
other since they were younger as well. Uh, but like songs like what's called WHAM, Why Man, Why Yaka Yada Man 3000 has like
Mm-hmm.
this weird like Yada Man 3000 has like this weird electronic beat to it. It kind of
Mm-hmm.
could throw you off in the beginning, but then like once the beat kind of mellow out and he just rapping, I'm like, all right, cool, I got it. Because in the beginning, bro, I was like, hold up, this taking me out. I don't know if I can take this. But like going on, it's like 6 tracks is EP. Songs like Super Bowl was dope. In my UA sweater, like the production is like some of this stuff you just gotta hear for yourself. Be like,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's not like something that's gonna go over your head. I don't know. I think you might like him. I don't know. You might like him,
Mm-hmm.
like because he's not your stereotypical lyrical miracle guy you think you're gonna get from me. No, come on, bro. He has a little vibe to him. He a little street little dude. I told you, like he looked like he might, he'll break in your mama house. You know what I'm saying? That's how he look. But yeah, it's Niontay Demon Murphy EP. Like he be saying some stuff, bro. You be like, all right, bro, I don't trust this dude. I don't but overall, I like him as an artist, man. I like him as an artist.
All right. My next project, SoFaygo's Go Plus. This is his latest project that he came out with in 2023. This came out after, I believe, I forgot the name of the project. Oh, Pink Hearts. It came after Pink Hearts. I know a lot of people were disappointed with Pink Hearts, especially with the little run that SoFaygo had with Seven and After Me. People were disappointed with Pink Hearts. I remember at the time because I remember listening to it when it came out. And so I remember Go Plus coming out, and I'm like, do the kids like this? Like, is this what's rocking with the SoFaygo fans? And I went to it. Well, this is my time revisiting it because I haven't listened to it since it first came out, and I enjoyed it
Mm,
when it first came out. I went back to it now, and I'm like, God dang, man, these little Travis babies, because he is signed to Travis's
uh-huh.
label, Cactus Records or Cactus Jack Records, whatever it's called. And so, Go Plus. This is that heat, man. 12 songs. It's about 12, yeah, 12 songs, 27 minutes. God dang, the little run that he was going with on this project right here, I'm like, okay, this is the SoFaygo I really like. Very energetic, very charismatic. You can see his influences with Uzi, Cardi, and
Mm,
Travis Scott. A little bit of Don Toliver as well, even though Don Toliver is a Travis baby himself. I really like the energy that SoFaygo has for on Go Plus. And some of the songs he has on here, they're just really fun. The beats are really good as well. I don't know, man. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, SoFaygo fell off, like he could never come back like that. I'm
mm,
just like, man, I feel like SoFaygo could really come out with a really good project. It's been almost like what, 2 years now at this point. So I'm wondering if he's cooking up a project. I know people were saying he was cursed because Apple put him on that up next, just like how Ice Spice is now
mm,
cursed because they put her on the up next, and now look at where her career is going, quote unquote. And so I'm just wondering, like, where can SoFaygo go? I kind of want to do a deep dive and actually go back through all his projects and really listen to him to get more of an understanding from
mm,
him because I do like his music overall in general. I think I've heard all his projects that he has on streaming, but I really want to see more so like what makes him shine or what makes him a bit more different than this current generation that we're in right
mm,
now. So yeah, SoFaygo Go Plus. This is a project I really like from SoFaygo. I think this is one of the better projects. I think this is well received amongst his fandom as well. So
mm.
yeah, y'all go check that out if y'all haven't.
I listened to for his singles like music videos and stuff like that on
Hmm.
YouTube like back in like 2022 around that
Hmm.
time I think, but I never checked out a full project from him. But I knew he was like having a little buzz, and so I checked him out.
Yeah, until Apple put him on that up next playlist.
And it
That's
was
what
a
they
rap
said.
for
Everything
him.
just went downhill.
Oh my
That's
god!
the
So,
meta amongst him.
so my next project will go also up under the Niontay, I guess line or whatever. Niontay's this is his, I would say his debut. I don't know if it's an album. I guess debut album. It's a 24-minute, 9 tracks. It's called Deontay's Inferno. So now
I
this right
like the
here is,
name. I like that name.
yeah, this is more a fleshed out of the EP, even though it's 3 more tracks added, but like some of the songs are longer. Um, Man, this one right here, it starts off really hot. Like the first 3 tracks to me are the best tracks on here, and I think he said he produced all 3 of these tracks. I got that
Okay.
mixed up. Like the City of 100 Plays is so dope. Thank Allah is just him just rapping. I think he produced that. Just going, that was so dope. Back to High, Back to Reality was dope. Like he had some production on him. I'm like, yo, and he just started producing. Like he only been producing for a few years, and I'm like, dang, bro. Um, he had a track with Mike that's dope. But the standout on here to me, bro, is Thank Allah in the city, the standouts, the City of 100 Plays, and Thanks Allah is like his best. I think those are his best songs up to date. Like I don't think he came out with anything better than those.
Mhm.
Uh, that's where you could say, okay, he's rapping on here, bro. Like he actually showing his ability of rapping. Um, this is something that I think that need to be in the ethos, B. Like, I don't know. I just feel like some of these artists
Need to be talked
need
about
a
a little
little,
bit more. Need
yeah,
some
man, need a
recognition.
little bit more push because what we do in hip hop right now, we know like the louder you are, or like the more popular artists always get more, more play, of course. But
Yeah.
I feel like I think we're in a point of time where like a lot of these underground artists on either side of the underground are getting some type of push. And I remember I used to think this like, will it ever? I don't know. I think we're getting to this point. I think predicted this. I was thinking it would be no more blurred lines or like no no separation between these underground movements because I feel like each of these guys are like on each side is merging into like mainstream in a way. Like you got like even like I was saying, I know it's like inflation, right? You got rappers like Mac Homie, right? That's was considered an underground artist, but is now having a million monthly plays on Spotify. And you have these underground rappers on the other side of like the Richard Marys and who else, like the Net Spins and all
Hmm.
these other kids, that they kind of leak into the mainstream to me. Like I think it's like it's no more underground, kinda. You know what I mean? I feel like
I get what you mean. It's less hidden,
yeah,
if you
it's
could say
not.
that.
Yeah.
It's not as harder to find anymore because
Mm-hmm.
with all these algorithms that we have now and with social media now being prominent, especially when go into certain circles, you're
Mm-hmm.
more likely to hear someone speak about these artists than you would have back then when you had to actually go to a forum. Like this is now
Right.
like a main focal talking point in these communities on these bigger platforms rather than just being on a forum.
Facts. Because of course it's still gonna be artists out there you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
it's always going to be that.
but yeah, but Niontay's Dante Inferno was really dope. He put that out in 2023, and I'm hoping he put out something else coming up because he like took a year off. So I think his next project gonna be really dope. I think he's gonna, through time you get better, bro. He's still young. I think he's like 24, 25 years old. He's gonna get better, especially with production. And now, when an artist take like a year off, what I'm saying, they take a little break. Sometimes they come back with like a little some spice. So I want him to come back at least 40 minutes, at least give me 13, 15 tracks at most. I want to hear more of him. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
These are projects I heard, 2 years ago, but it just something I revisited because it's been a while. And I'm like, dang, like I actually kind of slept on this. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Before you go to your next, you ever heard of Jades?
Spell it.
Jaydes, I believe.
J A
Light
Y
skinned
D
kid
E
from
S.
Florida, underground
Uh-uh.
scene.
Sounds
Oh,
familiar, but no.
I was on YouTube all day yesterday doing research and learning little things, and I stumbled across the underground YouTube channels that talk about the underground, Cardi clones and all
Mhm.
that. And I'm like, I was like, I wonder if B ever heard of this guy. Like,
I don't think so. Well, but maybe it's one of those things I have to see to know.
B.
Yeah.
I
There's a lot of
was
them,
like,
ain't there?
B. It's so many, and like these people. I'm not even gonna do it. I'll talk about it another day. I'll
Hey,
talk
B,
about it
does the
another day.
South have so much influence? Because look at Lil Wayne and his babies. Look at Young Thug
Mhm.
and his babies. Look at Playboy Cardi and his babies. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
bro. The South has been running the game for years, so it's hard. It's hard to escape it. The
Mhm.
influence. It's just
Yeah.
hard.
But let me go ahead and go to you done with your project?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Niontay's Dante's Inferno. If y'all haven't checked it out, go
All
check
right.
it out.
My next project is going to be a 10-year anniversary revisit of Rae Sremmurd's SremmLife. I saw,
Mm.
some of the blog pages or whatever on Twitter posting about it, saying, "Oh, 9 years ago." And people was like, "Oh, dude, this was 10 years." And I'm like, 10 years? I'm like, dog, I was in college. And I remember all these songs ringing off at parties and stuff like that. And I remember, I'm not gonna lie, I jammed this album a lot back then when I was
Mhm.
a freshman in college. Because, geez, man, listening to this album again, it took me back. Songs like No Flex Zone, Unlock the Swag, My Ex, This Could Be Us, Come Get Her. Like, come on, man, throw some more. No Type. Like,
Classic.
I think so. I think so. Amongst duos, especially from the South, we don't really have like artists right here that are doing like party music, having fun. Besides like these guys right here before this, even though they wasn't hip hop, like the other biggest known like duo that was known, I guess, kind of was like
Mm.
what the party rock anthems, whatever the party rockers, whatever they
What?
name, LMAO. That's what they call it,
Oh
LMFAO.
yeah, LMAO,
Like besides that
FMO.
duo,
Yeah.
it's like okay, like who else was making party music? Like after that, especially in rap, there was no one in rap doing party music since as a
Like
duo.
Travis Porter. Well,
Hmm.
they it was
That
three
was
of
a
them though,
trio
right?
though. That was a
It was a
trio.
trio.
That's what I'm saying. Like besides that, the only people I could think of before then, obviously, is going to be Kid and Play. But obviously, this was like our era's party music. Come on,
Migos
man.
was a duo at one point.
Yeah, but it's a trio. We know it's a trio. But yeah, this album right here, it took me back to freshman year. I loved every single song on here. I'm way too biased to like really actually talk
Yeah.
about this. But man, these songs really took me back, and I'm just like, ah. And then to see like where they actually went from like SremmLife 2 and then Shrem 3, I'm like, geez, when they did their own little solo works with the collab album, all in like 3 discs for their
Mhm.
for Shrem 3. And even though I did hear Shrem 4 last year or 2 years ago when it came out, and it wasn't as good as the previous projects, I'm just like, I still love these guys. Like, come on, come
Mm.
on, man. I have way too many memories with Rae Sremmurd as a group. So yeah, if you guys haven't checked it out, I think if you haven't checked it out, it's one of those things where you had to be there to like really
Mm.
like feel the
Understand
music
it.
at that time. Yeah, you
I
had to be
remember,
there.
bro.
If
I
you
couldn't
wasn't that
escape it.
age, exactly. You couldn't escape this music. And when I was going to parties back in college, some parties that I went to,
Hmm.
well, I mean, some of the parties I did go to, they was playing this music. Like this is the stuff that
Mm.
was being played. So I was like, geez, this stuff brings me back. It
Hey,
brings me back.
they had a little run, bro, because From Life 2 had a mannequin challenge thing, right?
The Black Beatles song with Gucci
Yeah.
Man.
That Black Beatles track was huge.
I'm not gonna lie, this might be one of the best moves that Mike Will kind of extended his run by signing these guys.
Where is Mike Will?
He made a project with Chief Keef last year. I think I actually reviewed it on the channel. No,
Mm.
no, I didn't. I put it in the What We've Been Jamming. I didn't review it, but I
Oh,
put it in the What We've Been Jamming. It's called Dirty Nachos.
thinking about it. Oh yeah, I remember the title. I remember the
Yeah.
title.
And that was a collab project between Chief Keef and Mike Will. You know, two people that was reigning high during the blog era coming together. But
Hmm.
yeah, like I said, Mike Will made it signing these guys. This was like extending his run basically at that point. But yeah, SremmLife 10-year anniversary. Just wanted to talk about it because man, this brings me back. But B, what's your next project?
I don't actually have a next project. I could talk about this one,
Hmm.
but I could talk about it. This is my last project.
Okay.
It's called The Nonce. I think this is the name of the band, the group. The Nonce, the Nonce, Nonce. The Nonce, the Nonce.
I don't know.
World Ultimate.
Hmm.
So I was on Instagram. This is actually a hip hop group that came out in 1995. I'm thinking they're from California. I don't know what part because they got a song called "The West Is blah blah blah" about to blow up. Um, I need to do a little more research for them. I just was listening to this, and I guess I'll talk about it. It's the album is called "The World Ultimate." Um, I actually was vibing with this stuff from the vibes they give me. I think they probably from like the Bay Area.
Hmm.
Um, it wasn't a track on here that I like disliked. It has this the ultimate edition. So it has 25 tracks. So it's like like a deluxe. An hour and 34 minutes. It's
Cool.
insane. I was just playing it. I played it like driving around. It was like the deluxe edition of it. Cause it has some beats on there, some bonus beats, like instruments and stuff, like instrumentation. Some instrumentals, my bad. Um, I really liked it, bro. I like, dang, this is dope. Like the song that got me put onto this was 85. And I'm like, yo, this kind of dope right here. But I never heard anybody talk about this group. I feel like every year I find a group that come from out of the West Coast, like really vibey little lyrics that I'm like, I never heard of ever in my life. Like last year was the what they call they was called the old timers, the reach. It was something like that. I don't know. I gotta look it up. I don't even think it was 2020. I think it was 2023 when I found them. But I actually knew a song from them, but I just didn't know them as a group. But I heard it. I'm like, oh, I know that song, but I just didn't know who they was. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
the Noints, I never heard anything on this project. I never heard anybody talk about them. Um, and I was pleasantly surprised with what I got. It puts you in the mind of like, what could I Far Side a little bit, uh, 93 Until, what's some guys? I can't think of the name.
I was about to say those
Why I
guys,
can't
but I
think of
don't
them
know the
right now.
name. I don't know why I'm referring
I
mine
can't.
so
I'm
bad,
blanking
but I
right
know
now.
it's
Them my
like
guys, bro.
90 to
Three
infinity.
Until, I cannot think of their name. Let me. I got it for you.
I
I don't
don't
want to
know
do
the
my.
name.
I can't do my guys like Souls of Mischief. I
Oh
got
yeah.
it. It popped up before I even got to look at it.
Mhm.
But Souls of Mischief. It puts you in that vibe because it's 95. I think they from the Bay Area, so they're gonna. But I wouldn't say they more like lyrical than them or nothing like that, because they're more like standard, kind of like dope beats, dope rhymes type of guys. If anybody never checked out this group, it's called the Noins, I believe, World Ultimate. I really like this, man. I'm like, I need to listen to this more. This seemed like something that like you just play, bro. I just played it in the whip, while I ran errands, or like in the headphones while I was like doing stuff at the crib. And I just like the vibes to it, man. It made me feel like I'm finna go like I could skate to this. Is this some came out? If it was something I found when I was like in high school skateboarding, this has been perfect soundtrack to like my skate day. Like I
Mhm.
was like, dang, this sounds so dope. But yeah, the Noise, World Ultimate. Come on, man. I don't know if people gatekeeping this project. Like, I never heard of it. Like, it's dope. I didn't even want to talk about it. G.
See, you part of the problem. You part of the
Yeah,
problem.
I wasn't even gonna talk about it. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna say this one for myself. But
Well,
yeah.
since you're done, I guess I'll run through some of these projects I listened to. Well, I actually listened to a single this weekend because I was with my lady. Raw
Mhm.
Waves, Westside Connection. Uh, it's Raw Wave. That's all I have to say with that one. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it. There's plenty of non-nice things I say, but what he was almost worst album of the year last year for us. So yeah, I mean, this is more of the same, nothing different. Like you said, B Tyler Perry of the rap game.
Yeah,
Uh,
bro.
it's sad to say. My next project though that I listened to, Rio Da Yung OG, Rio Free. Now this is someone who is from the Detroit area. I'm not sure
Yeah.
exactly what part, but Rio is
He
someone
from
who I
I think
guess
Rio from Flint. I think he's from Flint. I could be
he might
wrong.
be, he might be, but he's
Rio
one of those
home.
guys that he became like really popular on TikTok because he has some popular sounds and things like that. And so I found one of his songs a few years ago. I enjoyed it. I liked it, but I never really knew he was in jail like that. And listening to those songs, I'm like, he sounds mixed weird. So I'm assuming that he was making some of these songs in jail because this project right here, I'm like, he sounds different. So he must have
Mhm.
been in an actual studio to record this because every single song I heard on here, I'm like, this sounds completely different from the music I've heard from Rio because this is my first project I've heard from Rio all the way because all the other stuff I actually heard songs from him. So this right here, I'm like, okay, he sounds a bit more different. This is that stereotypical Detroit sound of like, like a what's the boy's name? Like a T Grizzly,
It's a Michigan
not
rap,
side eye
B.
baby.
Michigan rap.
Yeah, yeah, Michigan rap. But this is like that stereotypical sound where it's like, I got a mana, but to me, Rio has this character about him to where he's like, he's gonna say something outlandish off the wall where it's like, you really just said
No,
that.
Rio dope, bro. I love Rio.
Yeah, I like him, but I could see like how like if someone who isn't like tapped in with this heard this, they'd be like, "Did I just hear the same song over and over again?" Because this is a very similar sound throughout the whole album. It's about 10 songs, 26 minutes. I like most of the tracks because I just like the character that Rio actually brings on these tracks right here, and him coming out of jail, him finally releasing a project. I'm pretty sure this was highly anticipated. I'm not sure like what the buzz is online, but he has a song on here called Real Free. He was like, "Yeah, I made this in 40 minutes." So and so and so and so.
Mhm.
I'm just
Yeah,
like,
that's
dog.
that's what he made. I think it's one of them he made when he got out. I remember when I think it was Last Day Out came out. Like
Hmm.
I remember listening to him while he finna get locked up and like, cause I was huge on that Michigan stuff. B, I was like jamming that Michigan rap heavy back in like
Hmm.
2019, 2020 is like when I started getting hip to, like hip more into it. But like, nah, I was listening like Shy Baby, Shout Out Baby,
Yeah.
y'all them back in like 2018 and
But I
stuff
want to
like
say
that.
like some of them kind of have a bit more of a
2017.
some of them have more of a bit more expansive sound. Like with
Mhm.
V's, he has more of
They
an
actually
expansive
can rap,
sound.
bro. They just funny, bro. They
Yeah,
really can
I
rap,
like
bro. They
BFB
be
the
funny.
Pac-Man. I love BFB the Pac-Man. He might be
Yeah,
one of
he
my
from Flint
favorites
too.
aside from him and V's. But
Yeah,
yeah,
V's dope.
going through this project right here, like I said, if you don't like Michigan rap or like the actual sound of it, because this is what this whole album is, you're not gonna like this project. But for me, I enjoyed it enough to where I'm just like, okay, there's some songs on here that I'll go back to. But some
You ever
stuff I'm
check
like,
out
okay, this
Peasy?
kind of fell to the West Side. He sounds familiar, but no, I have not.
Is
I
Peasy
still
on
haven't
there?
heard. No, he has no features on this actually.
Okay, it's just him. Okay.
Yeah, it's just him throughout the whole project. So that's why I said like
Mhm.
some of this stuff I can see if someone were to hear this and they're not akin to this, they'd be like, okay, it felt like I heard the same song over and over again. Like I
Mhm.
could see that criticism. But for me, there was some songs in here where I like most of the songs. So yeah, he
Mhm.
was like, I got someone older than me in jail calling me big bro. I'm just like, yo, I'm just like, what? This man is
Bro,
off the
funny, bro.
wall. I, I agree. And my last project I want to talk about, this project came out in 2011. Future's Dirty Sprite, his second mixtape. God dang it! I went back to it because I saw someone posted on Twitter. It was like 14-year anniversary. I'm just like, oh my god! I was like, yo, I gotta go back and listen to this. And this project, I'm not gonna lie, it's a lengthy project. 21 songs. Pause, but you could feel the length on this bad boy because this album, I mean, this mixtape it runs for a while. But there are some huge features. There are some huge songs on here, like Racks on Racks on Racks from YC being on here. A song feature from Travis Porter, Rocco, Young Scooter. This is definitely during that era of trap, like when Young Scooter, Gucci Man, and all of them was like, and Young Dolph was kind of like, doing their things. FLY,
Mhm.
the guys that made Swag Surfing is on here as well.
Mhm.
This is a, this is a very fun project. Can I say this is a good project, especially in Future's discography? It's not as good as his second chapter worth of projects, or maybe his third chapter, but this is definitely where you can see some of the inklings and some of the beginning of Future, and he still had that little that little high pitched thing that he used to do back then when he used to be the guy to go to hooks for. So yeah, just going back to this, it was a blast from the past. I love this project. I love the cover from this. I love all them DJs on here. DJ X rated, DJ Scream,
Yeah.
DJ Esco, the coolest DJ in the world. I love all them DJ tags.
I
It
hate
just adds
all
more
that shit.
characters to the mixtape. I'm like, yo,
No
I
DJ.
love it.
Hey, no DJ version.
Hey, you're not getting that with this. And sadly, this is one of those things that isn't on streaming. So yeah, at the beginning, I'm sipping on that Texas. Shout out to Big Hog. I was like, okay, see, they're not gonna give him the Big Mo allegations, B, because he ain't big. You know what I'm saying? You got a
Ah,
whole
man.
project called Dirty Sprite. I'm just saying. But yeah, that's about been it for what we've been jamming. Just had to give y'all guys a few projects that we've been listening to. Let us know what you've been listening to down in the comment section down below. But now it's time to get into the news section of the show where we actually talk about some hip hop news, new releases, and current events. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the new hip hop music news, music and releases and announcements that we've actually gotten within the past
Mhm.
week. Uh Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist rumored to be working on Alfredo 2. Someone asked, I guess, Alchemist on Twitter something about Alfredo 2, and he just put the little zip mouth
Mhm.
emojis. BM
Because
hype.
they did a restaurant pop up. You know that they did like
Where?
an Alfredo restaurant.
That
It was
sounds
like
familiar, but I'm not sure.
yeah, they did it last year sometime. Yeah, that's why Freddie said on his song he gonna open like he got a restaurant, open up a restaurant and all that. I think they actually I don't know if they opened it, but I think it was like a pop up, like a Alfredo restaurant pop
I
up,
wonder
and
if
they
it was
sold
like a
like
merch thing, like an actual like
I
you
think they
sell
actually was
food.
selling food because I
Hmm.
remember they did the merch. Remember they did the merch back when it came out on
On his
Alchemist,
website, right?
Alchemist website. Because I
Hmm.
remember I had the cover with the gun and the pasta wrapping
Hmm.
around like yeah, I
Didn't
remember
you,
that.
you we traded that one, right?
No, I had like two of them. I gave you one. I think I
Oh,
traded you
oh,
one.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I traded you one for the other cover because I had multiple ones.
Hmm. This boy, this boy.
I used to be wildin', boy. I was wild. I had so much
Hey,
records.
but I am hyped for more Freddie Gibbs music, especially with Montana. Well, I don't know what the state of Montana. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, I cannot wait for for Alfredo 2.
Hmm.
It's gonna be heat. Next project. Well, next three projects, I guess. Lil Baby is threatening us with three new projects this year. We already knew about Dominique. He already came out with Wham and the extended
Hmm.
version, sadly. He's now teasing a collab album with him, Future, and potentially Young Thug, and a fourth project. B, why did you ask Lil Baby for this?
You know I did. And Dominic coming
Who's
out
asking for
next,
this, B?
bro. The fans, you see the people. You see how much he sold. People
140K.
listening, B. They listening to that
Hmm.
Rap Caviar album. Come on, man.
But yeah, I don't know what it is. Like you was about to say, Dominique is supposedly coming out next month. I have no anticipation for any of this right here. I don't know what new Baby is gonna do, and I do not want to hear a collab project with Future and Thug. I think Future has watered down his collab discography severely by doing all them collab projects that he did not need to do.
The
The
one
one
with
with
Juice
Thug,
World,
the one with Juice World, the one with
the one
Uzi.
with
I'm
Lil
just like,
Uzi, yeah.
dog, are you just they? He's handing them out like stimulus checks. I'm not gonna lie. Like he's like, yo, like trying to
The one
what?
he did
Like
with Juice World was so random to me. Because that
very.
when Juice World was like up and coming,
Hmm.
like a year out. I'm like, what?
Yeah, world on drugs, sir. What are you doing? You're too grown for this.
Yeah.
Uh, Uzi and Future kind of doing a collab project kind of makes sense because he calls himself Baby Pluto all the time, which is nasty to call yourself a baby version of another grown man. But I digress. Bodie James dropping again this month, January, his second project of 2025.
Yeah,
B,
he's dropping
we
Permanent
we not
Ink.
even we not even fit 20 days into 2025. What the f?
I don't know, man. I don't
Permanent
know.
Ink. You listening to? But I see that this isn't like a specific like producer on this one, so.
Yeah, just it might have multiple producers on it, just like a Bodie James project. But man, B, how I feel, bro. I just think Bodie got to pay bills. I don't know if I don't know if I thought too deep into this. Like, what if like his income, he just gotta push out this music just to try to keep up with his finances. I don't know.
At this
Like,
point, just go to Squid Games. Just join
like
Squid
why
Games at that point.
why are you putting out so much music? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's a thing of like, I love making music. I'm at the point of my life where I can just drop, drop, drop. I'm just gonna do it. You never know. Maybe he living every day like it's his last. He just want to put out as much content. Because to be honest, bro, it feels like content now. To
Yeah.
me, because when it comes to music, music is art, bro. Like music, it gives you feeling, it gives you this, but it gets to a point where like it don't feel like you're doing this for the love. It feel like you're doing it for the check, like you're making content, like you're pushing it out. So I don't know, because it's like new video out this week. You know what I mean? Like new album out
Mhm.
this week. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not anticipating this at all. I'm not gonna listen. Yeah, just Bodie. Like I'm getting to the point where he's not even trying to be like one of the best rappers to have ever done it. Because no one's ever gonna look at that Bodie James round. He was really putting out some heat.
My whole thing is if Bodie was like, okay, I'm finna do like this lyrical exercise of like I'm finna try to stay consistent. I'm gonna drop a track, I'm gonna drop an album every month. Like how Currency did the mixtape every month.
Hmm.
Like 8 tracks, 9 tracks a month, or something like that. I'd be like, dang, that's kind of something cool and something different, this generation. I wouldn't even trip on it because you actually put a stamp on it, like, oh, this is what I'm doing. Y'all look forward for this. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how Kanye put out the billboard. I mean the
The
whiteboard.
four
Oh,
albums.
we dropping this many albums, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
And everybody's like, all right, bam, that's cool. Like if he was doing something like that, I kind of understand. But
So
him
more so
just
if it's
like
like a challenge type thing.
like a challenge, like we'll understand, like boom. But like you just dropping, it kind of seemed like you're just forcing and stuff. You know what I mean? Boom, 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 boom. So
Mhm.
I don't know, cause like it was this one artist, I can't think of his name. I think it was Raz. What's his name? Free Raz
Fresco.
Fresco. Yeah, Raz Fresco. I don't know. I couldn't
Mhm.
think of his name because I talked about him on the pod before. I listened to his album last year with DJ Muggs.
Mhm.
He did something similar when he was like putting out this series of like mixtapes, and he put out a vinyl with each one, and if you collect the vinyl to each one, it creates a big old art piece through like the cover art. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
that sounds pretty
And I was like,
dope.
all right. I was like, that's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? So all right, if it's something to it, I don't know. Maybe he just don't have to give us like a point of like why he's doing it. He's just gonna put out music. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm not listening to it. It's too much stuff. It's too much.
Yeah, it's too much of the same. Because I'm Bodie
That's
James. You're not giving yourself time to actually live life, and for me to be actually interested in what you're doing. So yeah,
yeah.
I'm not hyped for this. Next piece of news we got. Oh, next music release that we got. A bunch of Eminem songs have recently leaked. At the time of us recording it, it happened today. A whole bunch of Eminem stands was talking about it on the timeline, talking about, oh, this song, the OG version of Antichrist, he was really going in, trigger warning. And I'm just like, don't nobody care. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I
You listen to anything?
no, B. I like good music for once. Like, no, I'm not listening to Eminem leaks. Like,
Hey,
I'm not that
M-
desperate. I'm not that bored
hey,
either.
Eminem on the Game album was enough, huh?
Yeah, yeah. And I actually tolerated him on that. But yeah,
hmm
B, are you hyped for any of those leaks? Supposedly they're from older albums, like from 2006. Some of them from multiple albums.
No.
And last piece of music announcements that we have before we actually get into albums dropping this week potentially. Out of respect for the LA wildfires, Weeknd is pushing his last album back to 131. This is respectable. I like this. He also canceled one of his live shows that he was supposed to do to perform for the album too, but he pushed it back because of the LA wildfires. B, are you hyped for this album?
No, I'm not even. I don't even care to listen to it. Like,
I'm gonna listen to it,
yeah.
but I'm gonna see how it goes because I'm ready. In terms of the pushback, I respect it for why he's doing it. I don't really mind pushbacks, especially since Weeknd isn't one of my favorite artists. So I'm just like, okay, I can wait. Like I got other
I
stuff to do before that.
yeah, I love the weekend, man, but I'm just not into like
The
this
newer
new
Weeknd.
stuff he's doing. Yeah,
I
it
mean, but
don't
this is his
really.
last album as Weeknd though. B, that doesn't
He
entice
got
you.
what his next stuff gonna be able? Nah, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. Hopefully you don't hear that that's going
No, I
on
don't
back
hear
there.
nothing. I don't hear nothing.
Okay, but no, I don't understand it, man. Prayers up to everybody in LA though.
Mhm,
But I don't know. The weekend album, I'm not really ready for it. I don't care. I see everybody hype for all the vinyl he's pushing out.
mhm.
Yeah, get that vinyl. Yeah.
Like I said, I
Spend
want
all
that
your
Frank
money.
Miller one. That Frank Miller one is hard.
Hey, it can stay in the store. To me, I
Ah,
don't care.
but B, go ahead and let us know what albums is dropping this week.
All right. I was searching, B, and these are the two
Mhm,
albums I stumbled upon because we know we're getting Mac Miller this week.
mhm,
Bloonerisms. Yeah, Bloonerism.
mhm,
This is something I'm actually ready to listen to right here. I want to see going on because this was made in the era of like one of my favorite Mac Miller projects was watching movies with the sound off.
mhm.
So I'm ready to tap into this. And I actually listened to some of the songs that was like leaked and stuff on SoundCloud. I listened to them with like
You talked about it
I
on the
think
episode.
yeah, I did, yeah. And so I wouldn't say I'm excited, but I'm ready. The next project that I seen, I think this supposed to have been coming out like last year sometime. He had multiple dates for it. Um, but Busta Rhymes, Dragon Season. And I said allegedly because, like I said, he had other dates for this last year. But he said he put this in his IG description, like his bio. It says January 17th. Um, Busta Rhymes has been uh, pretty much consistent. Like he put out an album, what? Did he put out an album
Last year, I
last
think
year?
Blockbuster.
And
I
20
think that's what it's
and
called.
put in 2023, I believe.
Did
He's
you
like a
listen to
old
any of them?
B. I never listened to a Busta Rhymes album.
I
Never.
listened to I forget which one it was. I think it was the one that he put out for free. I forgot the name of it. But I think was it with the conglomerate? I don't know. But yeah, I heard that album, but that was like during the blog era.
Yeah, I'm a Busta Rhymes song guy. Like I tried to listen to some of his albums before growing up, but it just a full album from him never did it for me. He
Hmm.
have cuts on the album that's dope, but a full album, he never been that type of artist to me.
Hmm.
That's why I feel like he's a legend, but he's a legend without a classic album. He
Mm.
falls in that category.
Like a Jadakiss. Except Jadakiss don't got the
Yeah,
singles like a Busta Rhymes.
yeah, true. But I feel like Jada had better albums than Busta, in my opinion.
I can see why you would say that. I can't say that because I
Mm,
haven't listened to enough of either of them, but that's
yeah,
believable.
yeah. The albums I tried to listen to from Busta, Jada's was better because I actually listened to full albums from Jadakiss. So,
Mm. Yeah, I have nothing to say
but
about
yeah,
that.
that's what I have this week. That's dropping this week. B. Maybe I'm missing something. I'll be trying to. I could throw in like some underground stuff, but I couldn't find nothing from that either. I might have to do some little more research. But next week, hopefully more things will come out. But it is the first quarter. B. You know
That
how
plus
it
the
is.
weekend is releasing this month. Everybody's trying to move out the way.
Hey, they can't be scared of that, man.
Hey, obviously Drake is Punk Sissy from the North Side. Come on, B.
Punk City from the north side.
But that's about it for all the music releases and announcements that we have. Let us know what you're hyped for. Let's get on to the hip hop news and current events. Lupe Fiasco becomes a professor at Johns Hopkins University's Peabody Institute. Jesus, that's a name right there. For their newly
Peabody.
launched bachelor's program in hip hop music. This is dope to see a hip hop. Do we call Lupe a hip hop legend? Like, I
You
don't know
said
why. Like, it just feels weird for me to say, oh yeah, Lupe is a hip hop legend. But like putting it on paper, it doesn't sound right. I mean, it sounds right, but saying it out loud, I don't know why it just doesn't sound right. I don't know why.
he's a legend. It's because we grew up with Lupe. Like we remember when he came out and everything. Like
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
maybe it's because he
So
hasn't
it's
had
kind of
like the
hard. Like
impact like a lot of the other artists that we grew up with, that we like actually actively grew up.
yeah,
That's why. But yeah, I
I
think it's
said
pretty dope. I just wanted to put some dope news in here today. I mean, this
that's
week.
dope.
Next piece of news we got Westside Gun announcing his first art program for Heath Science's charter school named Worthy Hands Art Program. I believe he only has like a select amount of like not contestants, but people that can actually enter
Mm,
and like actually win. He says, "Hey, if you don't win this time, work harder next time so you can win it next time." I
that's
just thought
pretty
it was
dope as
dope
well.
because I didn't see many people talking about this either. Even
Hmm.
though so many people claim to be a Westside Gun fan, but I see them talking more about his music than the actual stuff that he's also doing as well. I don't know.
Boom,
That's
boom,
just
boom,
me.
boom, boom.
Next piece of news we got. ASAP Ferg says ASAP Mob is done. He said, "Hey yo, ASAP Rocky is ain't really putting out, and if I'm not really putting out, what's ASAP Mob doing? Like you know what I'm saying? Like ASAP
Yeah,
Mob basically done. How we feel about this? B? It's like the end of an era. It's like New York
yeah.
just
It's
came
like
in.
some.
Hey, Dipset is just arguing. G Unit couldn't stay together. Now ASAP Mob. What's happening in New York with these groups? B?
It's like an unspoken agreement. Like we all knew.
I mean,
We
yeah,
all knew it was over.
yeah,
Come on.
yeah.
Like
Last tapes they put out was like during the SoundCloud
sometimes,
era.
B. Let's be honest. We the ones that in the group. When we don't listen to him no more like that, we don't
Oh
care.
yeah, oh yeah, of
A-
course. Because no one
ASAP could
listened
have
to ASAP
dropped.
12
ASAP
Mask.
Ferg, ASAP, yeah, ASAP Ferg dropped this year. Well, last year.
Hmm.
ASAP Rocky was supposed to drop last year. We're not
Hmm.
looking for the ASAP Mob freaking
Volume 3 or whatever
compilation
it's called.
album or nothing like that. We want ASAP Ferg put out your stuff. You know, ASAP Rocky put out your stuff, but we not looking for the ASAP. ASAP is just your name now. We don't care about the mob. You didn't even have to say anything, buddy. So I
I
don't
think
feel nothing
so
about it.
basically someone like after Yams passed, it's like yeah, ASAP Mob was already on the decline anyways. But I mean, hey, ASAP Rocky, I just need you to put Lords Never Worry, the ASAP Mob mixtape, on streaming. Please do that for me. Next piece of news we got Kanye potentially releasing a Vultures movie soon, made by AI. B. I seen that he took the trailer down from his IG though. B, I know that you're really excited to see a movie like this. I know you're a film guy, a film aficionado. You like the foreign stuff. You like the weird avant-garde stuff. B, how do you feel about this right here?
It's gonna be trash. Look at the AI video he put out for 530. AI goes by it generates from different sources, right? From like
Hmm.
different things out there. If it knows the freaking Vultures album trash, it's gonna generate some trash ass movie. Like that's easy. Come on, B. How you gonna get a dope movie from ass product? It can't generate anything good from something that's trash. All the sources it's gonna grab for is gonna so this is bad, bad. So
Mm,
it can't be
mm,
good, B. You saw that
mm,
video it produced?
mm.
Come
You wasn't feeling that, B? It wasn't weird? It wasn't weird and it didn't have underlying and hidden messages in there, B?
on. No.
Yeah, I'm not hyped for this at all. Kanye, you need to sit down somewhere. Just keep working on Bully. Uh, Next piece of news we got Drake's legal action against UMG and the iHeartRadio, which was very weird for people to include, has moved to January 28th to be heard in court. I'm very interested to see where this goes, how this goes. Is this going to be like a big event where it's going to be live streamed? Like, what's going to happen with this right here? I'm just wondering as the closer we get, the more people are making fun of Drake for, suing because he lost a rap beef. But I'm wondering like what all this entails and what all will happen with Drake musically, like contractually and things like that. Especially with all this drama that he has going on with that message that he sent that guy, allegedly, because I've heard that it wasn't fake, but then I heard it was fake. I
Mhm.
don't know. But with all the stuff that's happening right there, where is Drake's image going to really like what is Drake's image going to really be like amongst like after this whole little legal action right here. But yeah, what do
Oh
you?
man, this is interesting. Just I think Drake image is tainted a bit. Um, this right here is gonna be news, bro. Every hip hop channel, any other channel that has to deal with anything in pop culture, lawyers that do YouTube will be tuning in to like anything that goes on to this case if it gets like blown up, because it's Drake, big name, Universal. It's gonna be a thing. Drake is being looked at B with not even binoculars, magnifying glass B,
Mhm.
not from afar. They up close, bro. They want to anything he do is gonna be hyper analyzed. Anything that come out is gonna be Drake. Like the YouTuber deleted. I don't subscribe to him, but he pops up in my like home um
Your
on
home
my
feed on
YouTube. What they call
YouTube,
it, my home field,
the
right?
home,
And
the home.
he put out a video about Drake today, and I clicked it. He goes, first thing he says was, "I'm tired of talking about Drake, but y'all, my views run up when I talk about Drake, so I'm gonna talk about Drake." And I'm like, all right, like you know,
What
you're
happened
gonna
to
continue to
integrity?
talk. You're gonna
What
keep
happened to
talking about
integrity,
him.
B?
You're gonna keep talking. B, you know, integrity get lost when it comes to them numbers. B,
B,
like,
we like Drake,
like,
so it
hey,
makes sense that we talk about him.
right. But
But we
look,
don't
I
have
like
to rely on him to make content.
facts. Like the homie said, hey, the business of hating Drake is booming. B, hey, hey, if Drake, hey, bro, you gotta sell that Drake hate. B, hey, it's selling right now. It's hot.
Hey, when
Ain't
Drake
no
becomes
back
hot
order on
again,
it.
then what? When Drake
Ain't
becomes
no.
hot again, then what?
We don't know. This we're at the point of like we always like, oh yeah, this not gonna change Drake. This not gonna. We don't know yet. B. I think we're in a gray area right now because at the point of like Drake's still gonna be Drake when it comes to numbers, but in the public eye, we got to see what's gonna happen. I feel
I
like
don't know. Will he
everything.
be? Will he be the
When
same numbers wise?
maybe
If,
I'm just
especially if
saying
he's not on the
we
same label, if he's not on the label anymore, he's not
we're going
getting
to have to
pushed by
see.
those bots. B.
We AB once the smoke clears 2026 I think we'll get like maybe 2026 2027 we'll get like a clear view of like what Drake how he looks in the public eye. Will we forget because we all forgot about the Pusha T diss,
Mhm.
you know, all that was blown out after the whole kid reveal. Drake he was like bigger, bro. He put out like so many big hits. It was
Mhm.
huge. But
Mhm.
after this, he tried to be. You can't lie, he tried. He tried to do the whole 100 gigs thing. He put out like
I mean, it
features he
did work
did.
though. It kind of worked though. The 100
It
gigs
did.
in terms of like
The
people
100
talking
gigs
about
did
stuff.
not work. It didn't
I
work,
don't think it
B.
worked public perception. No, I think what J
Not
Cole
even
did
that.
was
I'm
better.
talking about musically, the billboards, it wasn't a hit. It didn't work, B.
But I don't think he was
It
trying to
didn't
put
work.
out a hit though.
This Instagram, let's get ready for the summertime. You know the stuff he was doing?
Yeah, he
He
said
was
that, and
putting
I'm
out
just
stuff.
like,
Nothing happened,
Drake,
B.
you're literally handling the summer like you did this beef. You're not
And
preparing.
and then what he said in the Iris fighting freestyle, him being all sad, the summer, I missed it. Like he was, he like, dang,
He was
I hit it,
working
I
too
missed.
hard, B.
Drake is so funny, bro. Drake is so funny.
But
Like,
B, I
hey, I
thought he
told
wasn't. I
y'all.
thought he needs to go back to being funny. I thought he wasn't funny at all. I thought he was just serious the whole time.
Drake is hilarious, bro. But yeah, we gonna see what's gonna go from with this lawsuit and the hearing and everything. It's a few weeks away. I
Yeah,
think it's gonna
Drake.
be
I hope
big
this
then.
inspires you to make better music. Uh, second to last piece of news we have: Madlib loses his house from the LA wildfires, and this his house had decades of music and equipment. This
Yeah,
was sad to see. I was like, dang.
yeah.
I was like, that wildfire is affecting a lot of people. The only people I really heard it affecting, even though I know it's affecting millions, I'm talking celebrity wise and people that are adjacent to hip hop. Janae Aiko and Madlib.
Yeah, I see. I've been following it pretty close. Like some with the news, some like independent news people on like journalists on YouTube. Actually, a YouTuber actually posted a video about how he lost his house, and he's like 2 million subs in. He's a tech YouTuber, and I was like, man. So he was just showing all the debris and like his freaking hard drives, his freaking computer, his debt, like everything's just gone, bro. And man, I was just like, this sucks, man. The death toll, I think, is going up as well. A lot of celebrities losing their stuff, and I feel like a lot of people are being insensitive to that. But I don't. You could be celebrities. You could be. I just feel like anybody losing anything like that. I don't care if you're a millionaire. it's you still lost something because you lost things that you can't buy back. You lost memorabilia with your family, photos, different things like that, man. So I don't care how much money you got, losing anything in a freak uh like with disaster like that, bro. Come on, you
Mhm.
can't. But us in this generation of like how insensitive we are with celebrities, bro, I think it's kind of sad. Like we
Mhm.
make fun of our CEO being killed. It's crazy. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm just not with that type of stuff. I don't care who you is. You got a family, you lost something like that. I don't know. I just all my. I'm not even a religious guy, but my prayers don't even mean anything. But I, I just it goes out to y'all.
Uh,
like
y-
like it
yeah,
sucks, B.
this situation is like very, very sucky. I know some people are probably trying to use it to their advantage with the insurance companies and things like that, but it is sad to see some people. Well, it's sad to see people in general losing things that they cannot replace. I'll say that.
Facts.
But the most important thing is the people that did survive and the people that were able to survive that. It sucks that people were like, some people probably lost their lives with this, which I have not been keeping track of. I know some
Mhm.
YouTubers I watched, they was talking about it. But besides that, man, scary times. Scary,
It is,
especially
man.
hearing that it was spreading. I'm like,
And then they were saying it was some bad apples out there actually helping the fire, like starting fires, bro. Like, and some people have conspiracy that the government, well, the state of, the
California.
politicians of California had like something to do, and maybe it was, allegedly like they had some type of dealings with this, with come to do with their, situations in their government over there, politics,
Yeah.
some stuff
You
going
seen that
on.
nasty post about, they're doing what they usually do at times like this? You didn't see that
Who?
post?
Uh-uh.
Someone posted black people, getting their stuff like from
Oh,
the
and it was
fire.
whole debunked that wasn't like
Yeah.
they
Like
talking about they were
people saying
looting.
that it was looting, but really it was them getting their stuff from their house or whatever. They're doing what they usually do in times like this. I'm like, yo, the CIA agents are really like out here today. Like they're
Hey,
really out here,
bro.
B. They
It's
they
so hey,
really are
Twitter,
out here.
bro. Twitter is full of like weirdo, racist, white supremacist people, bro.
Yeah.
They crazy, bro.
And Myron from Fresh and Fit, he was getting cooked on the line.
He's one of
I'm
them,
just
bro. He be
like,
wilding.
in my head, I'm just like Myron. I'm like, I know you're not like, I know you're stupid to a degree to some stuff, but you can't be that stupid. I think you was really doing that purely for engagement purposes because it was
Bro.
already a community note under that when you commented that. I'm like, there's no way you could be that stupid.
He don't care. He's mad. He's rebelling against Twitter now, X, because Elon and them were was trying to take away his blue check, his verified check. So he got mad. And it was a whole thing of like him being like, Elon, how do you do this? You're supposed to be about free speech. But bro, you're on here calling people the hard R, like being super racist, bro.
Yeah, they be thinking,
Like,
yeah, he be thinking, oh, free speech, free of consequence.
yeah,
No, no, no,
yeah.
no, no. That's not what that means.
And you don't have the skin complexion for the protection. So
Yeah, that is facts.
get out of here,
And
Myron. You a weirdo, you loser. You always been one, you loser. You can blow that out if you want to. I don't like that dude.
And last piece of news we have LeAngelo Ball signs a $13 million contract with Def Jam and Universal Music Group, which grants him full ownership of his music and label. B. Does he have the song of the year?
I'ma swerve him in that corner.
Whoa,
Whoa,
whoa.
whoa.
Hey, B,
They're
did you
gonna
see that
tweak
Moneybag Yo and Boosie want to
it.
get on the remix?
Hey man, we need him on the remix. We need some Juvenile on that joint.
Hmm.
Boosie,
Hmm.
BG.
Hmm.
Man, we need
So
Turk on
basically,
that
Hot
bit.
Boys.
Webby.
Hot
Anybody
Boys.
from Louisiana. Moneybag Yo, nah, we don't need you on there, bro. You could get on the like the Memphis remix.
Hmm.
But he need a
But if
whole
But see, if Boosie gets on there, he needs to be rapping like Boosie back like during like
yeah.
the Zoom
Boosie
era, like
badass
Boom.
Boosie badass days.
Nah,
Yeah.
I no when he was little Boosie, you mean. He's
Yeah, he
Boosie
was Lil
Bad A
Boosie.
now.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, but Lil Boosie badass. That used to be his
Uh,
name. Yeah. But
yeah.
nah, yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
But nah,
I need
man,
him
this
with super high pitched voice, Boosie.
this is pretty sus.
What?
This
This whole
kind of
$13
scary.
million contract and $8 million is guaranteed
Yeah, this kind of sus and kind of like I don't
off
know.
of
Do you
one
believe
song.
this?
Do I
Leandro Ball
believe
has
it? Well, I
reportedly signed
mean,
out
a
his.
lot of places have actually confirmed it, but it's just weird because off of one song, 13 million, eight
Oh look,
million guaranteed.
it says Leangelo Ball has reportedly signed a record deal with Def Jam worth up to 13 million, including 8 million as guaranteed money. The deal also grants him full ownership of his music and his own record label. Why would he get all this from one song? This is sus, and I don't think this is actually accurate. I'm gonna just say that now. I don't think this is fully accurate. Him having one song, yes, I feel like labels, they get their puppets, right? If we start seeing Leangelo Ball on commercials like we did Ice Spice, then we know he got a deal. Like
Hmm.
they like to F him over. They're not. What leverage do Leangelo Ball have to get a deal like this? Get out of here.
His father
I
is
call
part of the
Cap.
Ball brothers, B.
Nah, bro.
And
His
also
dad
his
put out.
brother is Lonzo Ball, the GOAT.
His dad made those messed up baller brand shoes, almost ruined his son's career. He's dealing with injuries now, almost like ended it seriously. He had to switch out of big baller brand shoes into Nike shoes. Come on, bro. I don't know. It's not his dad. This is fake. He probably signed a deal, but it's not this deal. I don't believe it.
Mm. So you're saying that he's
Cap.
capping?
I call Rooney.
Yeah, it seems
Cappuccino.
too good to be true, especially with the last part, which grants him full ownership of his music and label.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Full ownership. That no.
All right, dog. But yeah, that's about
Yeah.
it for the hip hop news and current events. Let us know what you think about some of the stuff we talked about, some of the stuff that we touched upon, and let us know if we are missing anything in the comment section down below. But now it's time to get into the music section of the show where we actually talk about the music over here. We have two albums that we are reviewing: The Games, the documentary, the 20-year anniversary, and Andy Cypress, EMBER2, the album review. B, which one you want to go with first?
We gonna go Cypress, man.
Okay, let's
Cypress.
go ahead and talk about Andy Cypress's EMBER2. And if you are also an underground artist and you would like to submit your project to be heard by the BBC, potentially get reviewed, make sure you sign that Google form in the link in the description down below. But this album was actually submitted to us by Andy Cypress, who is someone who I believe is from LA. So hopefully you're doing well as well. I'm not gonna lie, Andy. I wasn't familiar with your game. You sent us your album, you submitted it, you DM too. I'm like, all right, you persistent with it. I respect persistence as long as it's not annoying. You were not annoying. And yeah, going through EMBER2. I'm not gonna lie. This was an album, like I said, that was submitted to us last year, but we're just now getting to it this year because we had a pretty busy year last year, I feel.
Yeah.
But going into this project, this project is 14 songs, 38 minutes. Has features from Stoop Kid, J.I.O. produced it, 10K C Note, Marco Plus, who's someone I've heard from on Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
Aaliyah, Nicole, Wakai, a lot of people I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
Going into this project, I'm like, please don't let this be the spiritual miracle lyrical mayhem that I'm thinking it's going to be. Because I've seen some rumblings like, oh yeah, he has a cosign from Dreamville or something like that. I'm like, where's this gonna go? But I heard the project. I went to the first track, High Waters. I'm like, all right, this is cool. He sounds a bit like Mac Miller. I was listening to it with my girl when I first heard it. She was like, it sounds like Jack Harlow. I'm like, I can see that. We get to bet. I'm like, oh. Slash tenfold. I'm like, hold up. That second beat for tenfold? I'm like, okay. Then we get sick of it. And I don't know what it is when you bring me back to the mixtape days, me, when you start the song and then you like
Mm-hmm.
stop it, have that big boom, and then you rewind it
Mm-hmm.
back to the beginning of the song. I'm like, oh, you got me. I'm like, oh, baby, you got me. Then we gotta let it hit. I was like, okay. See, I'm like, this run that he's going on right now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
really enjoying it right now. Then we get to Ether. Oh, the vibey track. I'm like, hold on, this
Mm-hmm.
nigga's wavy with it. But then for the rest of the project, songs like Magic, Fell in My Lap, Pharaoh, Okay, In My Bag. I really like the features on this project as well. Some of them I was like, but none of them were as bad to where I was like, oh, that just messed up the whole song. I think the features did a good job as well. But I will say like the first half of the project where it was like high energy to where it started
Mm-hmm.
mellowing out towards the later in the project. I did like the sequencing of this project as well. I heard this album about 4 times. I gotta say that I thoroughly enjoyed this project. This is a project that I didn't know what I was going to coming into this, and I didn't hear anything previously, so I didn't have any
Mm-hmm.
notion of like where this was going to go. But I honestly enjoyed my first listen. Well, no, I enjoyed my listens with this, and this is something that he's been on my radar now. I'm going to check out some more of his stuff because this project it I really liked it. Do I have my qualms with it? A few, not too many. But overall, to me, this was fun music. This was good sounding music, which is the most important part. And that boy, he was flowing on some of these tracks. He was doing the thing
Mm-hmm.
where it was mostly fast paced most of the time. But like I said, it did mellow out after the high octane songs from the beginning towards
Mm-hmm.
the end. But yeah, overall, man, EMBER2, I was like, okay, Andy Cypress,
Hey,
you have my eye.
I echo your sentiments, B. I was really surprised with this. I feel like he has a lot of potential. I think he sounds really good on beats. He actually represented the West Coast on some of these beats and stuff. That's what made me like, oh, I didn't even look up and see where he was from or nothing. Like
Mhm.
when I started hearing the production on here, I'm like, okay, West
See,
Coast cat.
I didn't look it up either, but we follow each other, so I saw
Yeah,
him popping up with some of the LA stuff on the
yeah.
timeline.
He was popping up on my timeline as well, but we don't follow. I don't follow him. But
Hmm.
he has a lot of West Coast production here. Even how he flows on some of this stuff, you could tell like where he's from, where he get his, his cadence. You can hear it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I really love some of the production on here. Like you said, features wasn't too bad. I didn't care for Elia Nicole on here. I don't
Hmm.
know. I didn't really like her feature, her singing
I
on
didn't
here. I don't
notice the
know.
Sticks dude either at the beginning. Maybe that was just a me thing. Maybe I was tuning it out. I
Maybe they
don't know. I
sounded
didn't
too
notice
similar to
Sticks.
you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And him having Marco Plus was on here was dope and Waukee. I think I talked about both of them on the pod before, maybe.
Hmm.
Um, but overall, man, like what you said, like the top half was I enjoyed that a little more because then you got his versatility of like with the production and him having the splits, and then you're like, okay, boom, this is up, and then it kind of does mellow out more after that half of the project. Lyrically, I don't think he's not trying to be over your head with lyrics. He's kind of straightforward. Really good flow, good pocket. I think that's his strong point. I think one thing I like critique him on, like to give my critique in, because I don't want to just give him so much positivity. Like, cause no lie, you're a good rapper. I just feel like you can have your I know you have your LA, your West Coast influence. I kind of want to find you in a way of hone in your sound, like hone in that sound. Because at this
Hmm.
point, I just feel like he's probably a newer artist, kind of rapping on beats he like, on the style he like. But I want to find his identity pretty much. I feel like he has the pocket right, his flows right, some of the production he wants to be on right. I just want him to find his sound, his art, who he is as an artist. Because I went from this not kind of uh, leaving this not knowing who he was. I want to get
Hmm.
more
You
listens
want
to
to get
this because
more
I
of his
did.
character?
Yeah, more of his character and stuff like that. Because I know he's the laid back guy. I can see him probably, if he grows, he can want to collaborate with like a Larry June and stuff like that. But I would want to hear a little more charisma with him as
Hmm.
well. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like he has the standard, rapping, beat selection, pockets, great. But I want to get that personality in there.
Hmm.
Like not trying to make you an artist that I like. I'm not trying to force something upon you. You don't have to do what I say. But I'm just saying this is what I didn't grab from you. You know what I mean? But overall, I think you did really good on this project. I was thoroughly surprised. I thought this was gonna be whack, B. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
I
I'm
saw
not
his.
going.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, Andy. I thought you was gonna have some whack stuff over here, but nah, I actually liked it. I was playing it in a half. I was like, I think
Hmm.
I like this. You know what I mean? I was like,
Hmm.
all right, because I played it like an early Saturday morning, and I was just like, all right, I think I like this right here.
Yeah, I will
All
say
right,
for me, this project, my favorite thing about this was the beat selection because sometimes
yeah,
you can have these underground artists, and the one thing they try to do is like really try to impress you with their lyricism. And
mm-hmm,
I'm just like, hold on now, you still got to pick a good beat. This is music.
mm-hmm,
You got to make it sound good. Like I said, after High Waters, that intro, once you got the bet, oh, it was. I was like, ooh, that run from Bet to like Ether, like that run from Bet to Magic. I was like, oh my
mm-hmm,
god. But when I was listening to the album, like I said, I'm just like, okay, this got to slow down at some point. Like this got to like, I got to
yeah,
come down from the high. Like I got to be like, okay, now we get into the parts. But for me, like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I'm like, yo, I like this
same,
song. Yo, I like this song. Yo, I like this song. And
mm-hmm,
I heard it at a lower volume, heard it at a higher volume. My only critique that I have with this, I do agree with you on the sentiment of like, I wish I left more of like with some more like quotables, like some more
mm-hmm.
like what makes you stand out. Besides the
Yeah.
fact
That's
that
what I feel to
you
say.
rap really well, like you were saying, the pockets, he raps really well. So that's what
Mm-hmm,
makes the music sound good. Because these
mm-hmm,
beats that he's getting, especially at the beginning, they're a bit more faster. So it could be
mm-hmm,
harder for a lot of rappers to like stay on beat and in them pockets
mm-hmm,
and for him to kind of like adjust to the slower beats, even though he's still kind of rapping a bit faster than
mm-hmm.
usual, adjusting to them slower beats to the second half of the actual project itself. I do wish I came out with some more quotables on this. And my only problem with this sonically has to be like I couldn't hear you all the way well, and my car system is kind of nice,
Mm-hmm.
but to be real, like there was some points where I'm just like I can't tell if he's like rapping, because I'm like, I'm trying to hear what you're saying. And
Hmm.
sometimes the effect that you have on your voice and you rapping so fast, it wasn't making you as clear for me to hear every single
Mm.
word to come through really nicely.
He has
But he
to.
was
What you
flowing
saying? You
though.
think he should enunciate better, or you saying it's more
Yeah,
of do with the mixing?
I, I think it has to do more with the mixing because like
Okay.
if the beats was turned down a little bit more and when I was reading the lyrics I could keep up with
Mm-hmm.
them, but it's like when you're first hearing it, you're just hearing it, you don't have nothing that aid you with listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right, it's a bit difficult for me to actually discern what you say, especially with that effect that he has on his voice where he's a bit more, I don't want to say he's more mellow, but he's, I mean, or what's the word, not melancholy, he's not
Monotone.
monotone, but it's like you kind of like fringe on that, but he has the energy to like really keep up with that monotone style. But when his features would rap, you could hear them clearly. Like you could hear them kind of like clear as day because they didn't have no effect on them like that either.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the only problem I really have with this project. But overall, man, like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed this project. I enjoyed the sequencing. I enjoyed you having the high tracks over here and the more mellowed out tracks, or the album progressively mellowing out. Because I believe that he said this was a mixtape, it being more a bit mellowed out
Mm-hmm.
towards the later
Okay.
end. I like the way
Okay.
that
It's
he
a
ended the
mixtape.
flow.
Okay. So now I can understand. You know, not the, because with an album, sometimes you get a little more personable and stuff like that. So
Uh-huh.
this is just like a mixtape, some tracks he put together, the vibe. Okay. Okay,
But
I
I think
got
this
it.
also, as a mixtape, this is also a really solid body of work
I
as
think it's a
well.
solid body of work. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. It
this
just,
was really like I
but
had a lot of fun with this. That's my
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I had a lot of fun with this. Like
But you
every
know
time
how
I went to
some
go listen to this, I was like, I have no problem with that.
hmm But you know how sometimes when you go into a project, especially a new artist, you kind of want to leave with something from them that make you stand out. Like,
Hmm.
okay, what makes him him, in a
Hmm.
way. And I feel like this not the project that'll show you like, hey, this makes me me. Like, you're not gonna get this from nobody else. But I'm not saying this makes you bad or nothing like that with what you gave me. I'm just
It
saying
doesn't make you
I just
stand out
man,
greatly.
I just want you to stand out a little more. Like, hey, yo, Andy Cypress, yo, check him out. But
Hmm.
overall, really good project. I think it was good. I think it was good. I was
Yeah,
impressed
yeah, I
with
was too.
rapping, beat
Mhm.
selection, pockets,
Them
flows. I was like, all
flows,
right. I was
the
like, all
way he was
right,
flowing on
okay.
them beats, I'm like,
Yeah.
hold up, what we doing? What
I was
we
like, okay.
doing?
But yeah.
Yeah, so overall, Andy Cypress, man, I'm actually glad that you actually submitted this. I wish we would have got to this earlier, but we were just so stacked last
Yeah,
year
yeah, yeah.
with all the content and stuff that we was putting out. But yeah,
And
this project was awesome.
I like them on my stuff. So anything pop up,
Mhm.
he put out is gonna pop up on my in my algorithm. So I'll be checking them out.
Yeah, I'm definitely he's definitely on my radar. I followed him on Spotify as well. Even one of his
Okay.
other songs played from his Amber One
Amber
project.
one. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot which one it was. I think it was Shield. Shield is the one that played, and I enjoyed that one even
Okay.
after it did this whole little the algorithm thing. But yeah, overall, Andy Cypress, really good project, really solid
Hmm.
project. 14 songs, 38 minutes. To me, the project kind of went by fast. I will say though,
Hmm.
there is like a difference of, there's higher octane songs at the beginning, and then it starts to mellow out as you go through the album, like
Hmm.
after Ether, or I think like maybe after Magic. But yeah,
Right.
overall for me, like I said, features did their thing. Features weren't bad. The features that didn't stick out weren't bad. Features was good. Beat selection was good. Rapping, like flow wise, was really good as well. The only thing
Mm.
I gotta say is like the mixing, maybe boost your voice or less of the effect. But besides that, I still enjoyed what I listened to on this project.
Right on.
All right. But yeah, let us know if y'all have heard this project, or let us know if you are going to listen to this project down in the comment section down below. But now, B, it's time for a 20th anniversary review for the game, the documentary. This album came out, I believe, the 28th of January, 2005. We're all geezers now. If you guys don't know who the game is, this is his first time within the BBC ethos right here. And
Yeah,
this is weird to say, but he actually came out with a mixtape last year.
I actually talked about this album a little bit in my in what we're jamming. I
And one of
think.
your, hmm
Yeah.
and I actually listened to it, but I don't think I talked about it. This is before I think we
Hmm.
started the show. But yeah, let's all go ahead and talk about this. B, the documentary, 18 songs, an hour and 10 minutes. I've said this before on the show. I've said this to you in person. To me, this is Get Rich or Die Trying 2.0. To me, I think this is a better album than Get Rich or Die Trying. I'm not saying that the impact is better. I'm not saying like this is on a more goated status, but in terms of quality of music, and if I had to take the nostalgia tie away, which I mean, it's going to be hard for you to do that in general, I think this album is a better version of Get Rich or Die Trying. I think Game is a better rapper than 50. The reason I'm saying that is because there's a lot of similarities between this album. One, 50 isn't, he's included in this. Two, this is under Aftermath. Dr. Dre has his hands in this as well. But you could hear and feel some of the 50 Cent isms in this album as well from what he was doing on Get Rich or Die Trying on this project right here. And I believe The Massacre came out the same year that this came out as well. And The Game being part of G Unit. Yeah. But my first time hearing this album, I don't remember. I don't remember if I heard this when I was younger or if I heard this as an adult. But going to this album, I'm like, all right, this is a long looking album right here. But once you get into the album, I think the way that the album actually starts with Westside Story, I'm like, oh my gosh. Dreams produced by Kanye. Hate it or love it. Come on. Higher, How We Do It. Do You Don't Need Your Love. This album is so good, B. I remember we talked about it and you asked me, is this a classic? I was very hesitant to say if it was. I think it is. I think this album is a classic, B.
People call it a classic.
This is a great debut, especially for the 2000s. Like, there's not many better debuts in this besides maybe like a College Dropout. Obviously, I Get Rich or Die Trying. I can't really think of too many debuts where I'm just in the 2000s where I'm just like, God dang, this is your first impression and this is how you leaving it right here? I'm like, all right, okay, what you doing with this? I think Game did a really good job on here. As we've gotten older, obviously, certain things have changed in the music industry. I think the album is a bit lengthy. Are there songs I could have cut off? Here or there, once or twice. I would have made the album like an hour. I could have cut like maybe 2 songs off of this. But overall, man, for me, features on this album did a good job. I even like the Eminem produced track. Surprising, because I'm not an Eminem liker. The 2 Nate Dogg songs were back to back. Busta Rhymes. He was really needed on this song.
He was on the hook, right?
Yeah. I don't feel like he was needed. Like, I'm just like, why'd you get Busta Rhymes for this? Like, I get it, because Game, he shows a lot in this album that he's a student of hip hop. Like, he's like, yo, like, I'm a huge fan of hip hop. Like, I want the authenticity back. But he also tries to be like and I know we didn't have like PC and stuff like that back then, but he tries to be the non-PC version of whatever. He tries to be very abrasive with some of the stuff that he says. He tries to be very direct, straightforward. And also, like, he's like, I don't care if I'm offensive. I'm going to still say what I got to say on this album right here. Because there was I forgot what he said on here. I'm just like.
And I won't smash Mariah. She got a big forehead like Tyler.
Yeah, I'm just
Tyra.
like.
I'm like. Yeah,
that's just like it's like you try to. I don't know. It reminds me of like when we listened to "Man Down" by Ice Cube last year, 2024. And so I'm just like, okay. But overall, for me, I think Game's rapping ability is really, really well on this album, especially for this being your debut project right here. I really enjoyed this. I had no problem listening to this album over again. Like I said, it did go a bit too long. Like I said, there's some songs on here where I could have cut off like 1 or 2 to make this an hour. I don't think it needed to be an hour and 10, but I still enjoyed the album overall. What are your thoughts on this, B?
Like I said, I talked about it a little bit last year. I don't know if I really fleshed out my thoughts. Me actually listening to it this year, I kind of had a different lens on it. I don't know why. I kind of like hyper criticize this album a lot. First off, first 6 tracks, of course, we know they like singles. He kind of got the singles out the way. Amazing. Well, West Side Story wasn't, but like Dreams, Hate It or Love It,
I think it was one of them B-sides that's really known.
But it's known, yeah. How We Do's, Banger, all this, you know what I'm saying? So my whole thing about the Game is you could tell that a lot of this stuff was 50 Cent songs. How We Do was a 50 Cent track. Hate It or Love It, 50 Cent. Bro, put you on.
Do you
put
feel
you on
like
the
these
game.
are West Coast versions of 50 Cent songs?
No, this production's like Hate It or Love It. Like, bro, even How We Do, that's 50, bro. Like, that's why he owned like 3 tracks on here. It was his songs. He even probably wrote the hook to put you on Game because Game used his whole like flow. Like, he sounded just like one of the 50 songs.
There was one song. Didn't he sound like he was using 50's flow from 21 Questions?
Yeah.
I forget which one. Was it that song?
Bro, I don't even think it was the hook you talk about. I trying to think what it was.
No,
I think
he
it
was
was
using
another
50
song.
Cent's flow from 21 Questions.
On Put You On Game, he used a 50 Cent hook, like how he did it. I forgot on what song, but he sounded just like a 50 song. And I'm like, but one thing about Game is like people praise him about is his like him being a chameleon, pretty much. Like he can mimic like rappers, and he does this a lot. and it kind of got on my nerves, especially when he got on the track with Eminem and started rapping like Eminem, and I'm like, this is corny. Uh, him each song, him referencing another person, a part of G Unit, him always mentioning 50 Cent, Dre, the West Coast, Easy E.
What about
Oh, I'm gonna
Biggie and
do it like
Tupac?
this, Biggie and Tupac. It
I
kind of
wish
got
it was
corny.
back.
It kind of got really corny to me. It kind of drawn me out the album, to be honest. I'm like, every time, like, oh, he about to mention 50, he about to use a buck. Hey, somebody tell Banks order another 40. I'm like, come on, bro, you're not telling Banks to order a 40. He like, I'm not ordering that. My unit is gorilla. It's like, I don't know, kind of this stuff kind of got a little corny to me.
B, you know what's
the
funny? I was having that same sentiment because I'm just like, how many times are you gonna say
they
break?
gonna,
I wish Puff.
yes,
I mean, I wish Tupac was back and Biggie
hey,
was back.
you remember
But I had
you
to
remember,
also think to myself, I'm like, during that time, I'm like, okay, that's what you grew up on. Because like, I don't want to say like this. If one of my favorites died, I'd probably be saying like the same thing. Like, if I was a rapper, I'd be like, yo, we need to bring back Nipsey. Like, I'd probably say something. So I'm like, all right, I'll give him a pass on some of this stuff because he
and
grew
then
up.
yeah, I was thinking too, because he was younger. He was like in his early 20s when he put this out, so he's probably like, like amazed about like where
Mhm.
he's at right now, and he's mentioning all these people. But it kind of got corny. Like, to be honest, I'm like, dang, it's getting kind of corny to me. Like, I think it's drawing me out the album. But overall, I gotta admit that it is a really good debut. It's a really good album. Classic. I know people call it classic. Me personally, I don't think this is a classic. I thought it was. I don't think it's a classic. Me actually listen to this. It kind of I was like, I don't know if this aged really well. I don't know, B. It don't feel like it
Mhm.
aged well that much. But
Mhm.
the bangers on here bang. Like the documentary is still a dope track to me. I think it was probably his best rapping on there.
I think that song was the one where he was referencing way
But
too many
he
like
was
old albums.
referencing a
Like,
lot,
yo,
but I
I'm
liked
ready to
some.
die.
But
Like
I
life after death, whatever he
see
said.
that was yeah, I like that because I don't know when I listened to this album for the first time when I was younger, I kind of like
Mhm.
I kind of like that, but I just feel like rapping wise, that hook could get like, come on, bro. It's my reasonable doubt to some of my ill, you
Oh
know how he
yeah.
put all these classic albums into
Uh-huh.
it's the
And see,
documentary.
that's why I say he was like a student of the game. I meant to say he was like a fan of the game. That's what I really meant
Yeah,
to say. A
because
fan.
he learned how
Because
to
he
rap.
references a lot of hip hop.
He learned how to rap by listening to those albums. Like Nas was his
He sounds
what you
like
call
Nas.
it? Yeah, Nas was his moniker of an MC. What you call it,
Mhm.
Joe? Like his prototype. Like he built his whole like rapping style from
Mhm.
Nas. Like he
Mhm.
talks about it. Cause he when he started rapping, he was only rapping for like a year or so. Like over like 2 years.
This
He
makes
was new to
sense
rapping.
because whenever my girl hears me listening to game, she was like, "Oh, this is Nas." I was like, "No, this is Game." I'm like, but I can see why
Yeah.
you think that this sounds like Nas. Like
Yeah,
even the
he
song that Game and Nas have together on Nas's Untitled, Nas kind of sounds like Game. I know he's a chameleon, but he still sonically, like voice wise
yeah.
and delivery wise, sounds like
And
Nas.
and that's what Game does, bro. Like if he get on a
He's a
song with you, he
chameleon.
gonna sound like you.
Mhm.
Like when he used to do the stuff, he did stuff with Tyler. He sound like him. Oh, I'm gonna give with Kendrick. Let me go. Like that was the stuff he got praised for. But now it's kind of like corny to me. Looking back at this, I'm like, yo, this is corny.
And see,
It's out of here.
I give this album a pass for that only because like this is like that kid that got the chance and he
Yeah,
proved himself well. And so I'm just like, and I
yeah,
get it, you're a fan of hip hop because like I said, there are some references where I'm just like, dog, like how many times you gonna like reference someone like and the thing is, like I said, he's like trying to be offensive, but he don't care that he's offensive. And
hmm
there's no term like for PC back then where he'd be like, yo, I'll get 50 Cent. I'm part of this. I'll do this to so and so, like so and so did so and so. Like he'll say the
hmm
name. He's like, yo, I'm saying the name with this. So, I'm really gangster with it. You
Hey,
get what I'm
and
saying?
they was like, oh, who you was dissing? I was dissing Ja. I wasn't dissing Jay Z. I don't diss legends. And now he dissed Eminem. He be trying to do, bro. You be get out of here.
Yeah, I'm about
Game
to
is
say
a
he
walking.
literally said that on one of them songs. I'm like, dog, didn't you just have a beef? Well, you tried to have a beef with Eminem. You dissed Benzino on this album.
Yeah, we all contradict ourselves, but
Yeah.
game is like a walking contradiction.
Well,
Like
yeah. Well,
this,
but B, he woke up out that coma in 2001, the same day
the
that
same time
Drake
that.
dropped 2001.
Oh, and
And
another
that
thing
album
that
dropped
got
in
tired.
1999.
Another thing. Another thing that got tiring was Dr. Dre popping up saying stuff. The detox.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you
What you
gotta do
working on? The
this.
detox.
Like different stuff like that. I'm like, yo,
You didn't like it
like
when Snoop Dogg came in with the ad lib? So I did
no,
a
no,
song with
no,
Snoop. West Side?
hide. I'm like, yo, get this out of here, bro. this still a good album. It's just hard for me not to talk about like my experience I had listening to this album
Mhm.
again.
It has this
And
2000isms to me. Like,
mhm.
there's just certain things from the 2000s that was corny. I'm just like, I can't fault it for the time. So,
And it had me thinking about like me going back to the 90s. Like, yes, the corny thing about the 90s, how they'll just always be like, this is for 994. Shout out to the 90s. But I don't know. I feel like this was really corny. This album was a really good debut, but like you looking at it, listening to it as an adult, it's just a lot of corn in here to me.
mhm. I think as Game has aged as a rapper, obviously he's gotten better with a lot of things in terms of
Yeah.
like, because obviously he wasn't as lyrical as he is now, considering this album right here. A lot of
Yeah.
his references don't go over your head. A lot of the bars ain't like too crazy, but they're good enough to where it's like, oh, okay, this guy can rap. He can make a good song too. We don't know how
Yeah.
much 50's writing was behind that, but for me, I think this was a good stepping point in terms of like a debut still. I think this really like, because to me this is still Game. Like you
Yeah.
could like my favorite project from Game is Jesus Piece. I love that project. I can still find pieces of Jesus Piece like from here, and I'm like, okay, you age from this to this, and I can see the progression from this album to Doctor's Advocate, LAX to Jesus Piece. So yeah,
Yeah.
uh, overall, I love this project. Like every time I listen to it, I'm like, there's just certain stuff I'm just like, Game dog, like come on. But
Yeah.
I still loved it. I love
I
the
don't think it's
I love the charm of it. I love the
yeah.
charm of it.
Like Get With Die Trying, I think is better. And I think it's still better. But I know me going back when I listen to Get Rich Die Trying, I still feel like, it didn't live up. Like, I don't know, to me, some of that stuff didn't age well. But I
Mhm.
still think it's better than this because I feel like the highs are more high on there. Like
Oh, they
super
are. I
high.
agree.
So
I
I
agree.
think that,
To me, this album
yeah.
is a bit more consistent. That's my thing.
It's more consistent, but I feel like when you got really good highs, it's hard to kind of match that. Oh,
That's where
excuse
me
me.
and you differ a good amount. You like the highs. Me, I like the consistency.
Because you gotta
Because if you give me
understand,
too high of a high, that means I might get a low low.
like, look, it'd be crazy because like I don't know. I watch boxing. I like boxing. So you can have a fighter, right? That let's say they lasted, it's a 12 round fight, but the fight only lasted 10. The game probably was winning like 8 out of those 10 rounds, but the
Hmm
50 hit him with a crazy shot, knocked him out, won the fight. I feel like he had harder punches. And that,
Mm.
and when if we, Game was trying to be more a little consistent, hitting his jabs, not missing much, but he was getting hit with those tough hits,
Them
knocked him
haymakers.
out, them haymakers, and I feel like he was
Mm.
down in the 10th round. So that's how I feel like about like those highs. Them highs like elevates a project.
I will agree with you that Get Rich or Die Trying has higher highs, especially with
Mhm.
some of the songs. Like, come on, like that whole album basically is
Yeah,
dang near
bro.
a pop album. What Up Gangsta, In the
Yeah,
Club, 21
you
Questions,
got Wanksta on there,
Wanksta, I Gotta Make It to Heaven. Like there's some high
bro.
highs
It's
on Get Rich. Like I'm not gonna cap on that. Many
super
Man.
high. Many
Like
man. Oh, Many Man
so I
is
get your point with that. Like for me, I like a more consistent album than I want high highs because that means you're gonna give me some low lows too. Me,
nah.
I kind of like to stay in the middle.
Yeah, because sometimes consistent can be too safe to me.
I agree. I agree. I will agree with that because it depends on the consistency for me. But yeah, I do agree with your sentiment on that. So
Mhm.
yeah, I completely understand you saying that because like I said, Get Rich or Die Trying has some high highs. A lot of
Super
albums
high,
don't
bro.
hit them highs, but the
Boy,
documentary
super
has
high.
some really good songs too as well though. So
Mm.
I know we're talking a lot about 50 on this, but I mean 50 did have a big part of this album. But yeah, the documentary by the Game, I still think it's a really good album. Remember last year I was questioning like whether it was a
Hmm.
classic or not, and I wasn't sure.
Because
I was like, but
because the consensus is a classic. I saw that. I actually saw that it was a classic. Somebody said it last week. Not even last week. A few days ago.
yeah, because
He
there
was
was a
like,
thing
he
going around
said
today.
he said his first two albums are classic, and the rest of his discography is still just solid. I forgot who said it, but no, he
Was it my
has one of the
boy? I
best.
think it was my boy that said that. But yeah, I know what you
But
mean.
the Game has one of the best discographies in hip hop because he's so consistent. Like,
I can't say that because I haven't heard even half of his discography, so I can't say that.
oh, you
Have
haven't?
I?
He
I've
don't
heard
put out.
LAX. I've heard Doctor's Advocate. I think.
You heard Red?
Yeah, already. Uh-huh. I
Yeah.
heard Jesus Piece. I heard
Hmm.
the documentary 2.5.
But
But
just
like
off that alone,
everything after
B,
2.5, I have not heard.
but just off that alone, he's really consistent.
Yeah, okay,
Like
yes, I will
those are
give you
that's
that.
what I'm
He's
saying.
really
Just off
consistent.
that
Yeah.
alone. his discography is up there. Just being a consistent, really good discography. The Game has one of those. Like he could be corny, blase blah. He puts out good albums.
Mm-hmm.
And this
I'm
is a
not
good
too
album.
mad at that.
I know I did more critiquing on what he said and
You're
like
supposed to.
how
This is
dope.
20th anniversary.
But when it comes to like the album, like I listened to this album for years. Like I'm freaking 30 years old. I listened to this album
Oh,
like when I was like 11 or 12. Like, come on. I knew all these songs, everything. Like I was a The Game fan at the time.
see, I was never a The Game fan. Like, I loved LAX. I love Jesus Piece. But I can never say I was a huge fan of his because there was nothing that ever really made me run back to Game besides those two albums right there.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, songs like from Doctor's Advocate as well. But yeah.
You remember One
Overall,
Blood?
blood, especially
Remember that
with
remix?
Def Jam Icon beat. Come on, beat.
Remember that remix, bro?
Uh-huh.
I got all the Def Jams on the what's it called, B? On the handheld.
Oh, hey, I got Def Jam. I think I got the physical, but I also got the actual
Yeah.
game, on the Steam Deck. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about it for the Game, the documentary. It's been 20 years. What do you guys think about this album? And have you actually went back to listen to this album 20 years later? And if so, what do you guys think about it? Let us know. But B,
Is it a classic or not?
oh yeah, that is true.
That's a good one.
We gotta know. Is it a classic? Let us know in the comment section down below. But B, it's now time to get into the discussions part of the show. And we only got about 2 discussions right here. And I guess we get to the first one. Will the TikTok ban on January 19th, allegedly, severely hurt hip hop? This is a question that I've been seeing some people saying, like, oh, TikTok is being taken away from hip hop or whatever. And we've had this discussion before within the first year, aka last
Yeah, we
year,
did.
of us doing this show. But now it looks like the ban is actually about to happen within a few days, depending on when you actually watch this video. Will TikTok affect hip hop? I think TikTok will affect. I think it will affect some genres of music in general.
Oh, it's going to
But I
affect
think,
the
but I think
industry.
hip hop will affect. I think hip hop will. I mean, TikTok will affect hip hop and pop the most. I think, if any of the 2 genres.
I think
It'll
it's going
just
to
affect
affect.
the numbers wise. But I
It's going to
also
affect
think hip
music.
hop. You think so overall?
Yeah.
I guess for
I,
me, I don't see a lot of like different music on TikTok besides pop songs and rap songs.
you guys seen K-pop be on there, country music be having this little thing. It's going to affect music as general. Like, I was thinking that. Um, remember how we had the discussion about how Universal renewed the whatever contract they had with Meta,
Mm-hmm.
and how like TikTok and Universal had a little thing going on when UMG.
Where it took
Remember they
all that
removed their
music off.
stuff and then they put it back. Maybe this is a move from Meta and all the big, investors trying to get TikTok out of here because they can invest more of their money into Meta. And that's why you had some of the biggest artists last year dropping only on Facebook. I don't know. I think it's a bigger play with the labels as well to have something to do with this. I feel like more than just, oh, TikTok is spying on us. I think it's more of a play because we're trying, like, the US is saying, hey, you have to sell to us if you want to keep it here. I think they want to be in it. They want to have
Give them
their
a little
paws
cut.
in it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think it's a bigger play, man. And I think it's gonna affect more like pop culture as well because TikTok is the hottest thing in US when it comes to social media right now. And it's,
Yeah.
US wouldn't be the first, country to ban it. But um it's gonna be a big thing, bro. It's gonna be big. So if I say any of you guys that make TikTok videos, I say if this stuff goes through, go save all your videos, download them, put them in the tuck, and hit the Instagram reel. Because remember, Meta, Instagram, Meta, Facebook, just re-upload all your stuff there. Because that's will be the spot. Because they're trying to have like these different subs for like TikTok. What they had, Lemonade or whatever. I don't know. You heard of that? Because my
Which is,
girl said
I
they be
heard it
pushing.
was a project.
It's
Yeah, they
powered
do
by.
push Lemonade, but ain't
I
it
heard it's powered
owned
by
by the people
TikTok.
from TikTok?
Yeah. So I
It's
don't know
funny
if
because
they
I
let
made a
some.
Lemonade like years ago, but I
That's what
just never
people
did anything
saying.
on it.
People said they made it around 2023. I guess when it's kind of getting put, people was making it. But I don't know. They say the algorithm is not the same. Like TikTok algorithm is like crazy.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Um, it's perfect. So I don't know, man. I just think that I think it's a bigger play, man. I think we all know US want a cut of it. They want the money. And when we bringing in music into this, the label's gonna have something to do with this too. You know, they want to be
I
they
mean,
investors. They
they
partners
got
with Meta.
Spotify
So
charts. I mean, they got TikTok charts where you can see
yeah.
what songs are charting, what will stream the most, which is crazy to me.
And with Spotify, you know how the labels have a big cut of Spotify. They make more money than Spotify off Spotify. So it's just a whole big play from like all these DSPs, Meta and labels. You know, US. It's it's a bunch of like third eye stuff that we don't know nothing about. B.
I think to reiterate some of your points from the last time we talked about this is going to regulate the game a
Hmm.
lot because TikTok was one of those things where you could put up a random video and it'll get a million type views. It's going to be harder for you to do that in the Instagram Reels algorithm. It's going to be harder for you to do that. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's going to be
Yeah.
harder for you to do that in the in the Instagram algorithm, the YouTube algorithm. It's going to be harder for you to achieve that just because the algorithms just isn't the same. I know a lot of artists use this to help push their music, to help start trends, to help make
Hmm.
dances. Some were successful, some were not. But man, this is really going to regulate a lot of like to me this is really going to regulate a lot of the underground hip hop artists. I'm talking about the YN underground.
Yeah.
Like the
I put in
Autumn, the
my
Summers and
notes
all that.
because we talked about it before. I put in my notes. This gonna hurt some up and coming artists. This was
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Not the
It's gonna hurt them.
backpackers. I'm talking about the
Yeah.
YNs. The
Like
ones that have a viral song where their song going viral is bigger than them. Like their name still is known.
because like a million followers on TikTok is not like a million followers on freaking Instagram. A million followers on freaking Twitter is not the same as a million followers on Instagram or Facebook.
Mhm.
All these the follower counts and stuff like that. It means it's different. You know what I'm saying? Because a
Yeah.
lot of people built their whole platform on TikTok. They try to move over to another platform and it don't work. But the people that
So
has multiple followings on multiple platforms, it's not gonna hurt them. Like the big TikTokers, once they we move the reels, we over here on Instagram, it's not gonna affect them. But like the up and comers, TikTokers that's kind of making a little buzz now, it will hurt them, especially when it comes to like people that go, oh, I put out my song to like a big influencer on TikTok. It's gonna be hard to like do that on Instagram when people
mhm.
not having that type of following. Like you're gonna be like, dang, like I can't just go to this person because they probably get this from everybody. Like they don't want it from me. They bigger on here. If I'm on TikTok, I can reach out to multiple other people that's like up and coming that can kind of give my song some buzz or something like that. What they call it, like influence marketing or whatever,
Mhm.
like influence marketing. So I don't know. Maybe more than just the music industry would be affected by this. Maybe when it comes to like TikTok shops and people selling their products on there, because I know a lot of people get forced their stuff on Instagram too. They do their ads and things like that on Instagram, but I don't know
Mhm.
how effective it is when it comes to like TikTok. It's like my girl buys stuff from TikTok, my sister, my nephews.
Mhm.
They be, oh, I got this from TikTok shop. Like I'm like, huh, y'all buy? That's pretty much Sheen. Like, why y'all on there buying stuff? It's like people drop shipping. That's it. So I don't know.
Yeah, but
I don't
also,
trust this stuff.
they had this whole thing where it's like, oh, you become an influencer on TikTok Shop, they'll send you the item for free, and you could promote it, and make a video of
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Now that
yeah,
that's gone, like, what marketplace is that? Like, I mean, yes, influencers have been doing that on YouTube, kind
yeah,
of, but there's no YouTube shop. You get what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, and plus it's a lot harder for a company to reach out to you from you like through YouTube. And like, oh, we like your videos. We want you to promote our item. So, I'm in terms of like music, like I said, I'm wondering what the space is going to be like for the YNs. Like, what is the next way for them to like really promote their music? Because I
Bro,
don't
you
think
got
Twitter is the best way to promote your music like that.
B. It's
I think
because
some people pierce through.
we got YouTube Shorts now, Snapchat
Uh-huh.
Spotlight, Instagram Reels. I think Reels are on Facebook too, right? Or am
Yeah,
I bugging?
something
I
like
feel
that.
like they're just gonna have to because Shorts are blowing up on YouTube too. Like short term content is still in. That's the wave. So I think you just gonna have to guerrilla market your way into
But
these
I think it's
other
harder with YouTube because
algorithms.
of copyright.
It is harder. Oh, musically, but if it's their music, you know, if they're not getting signed.
Mhm.
That way, the whole dancing stuff, that's not gonna work on YouTube. But
No,
that works on Instagram, right? Because UMG, will
I
that
think
work on
so.
Instagram? So I think they could do it on Instagram, but when it comes to like, so the wave is probably Reels. Instagram Reels is the only thing I really could think of. I don't know how Snapchat Spotlight work. I just found out about the feature yesterday doing my research. Like it pops up on my Snapchat because I message family on Snapchat, but I was like, this what that is? And I was going through it. I'm like, oh, it's just TikTok. It's just Instagram Reels. I didn't know they had that on there. So I was thinking like, dang, B, maybe we should make a BBC spotlight Snapchat and start posting stuff there. I don't know.
Hey,
I looked up
hey, they'll get traction.
I looked up hip hop and I'm like, what's on here? And all I saw was like what I forgot the it's like a big hip hop page. I like that's the only page I really saw. I'm like, people they not they not on the spotlight? Because I heard they making money on Snapchat, B. I heard people making money on
I like to
Snapchat.
hear that. But I think it's one of them things where Instagram reigns king again because look what happened to Vine.
Yeah.
Look what happened to Snapchat. Instagram is just getting the best features. At one point, Meta is going to be the monopoly. You're gonna have to get through Meta, man. You can't
Yeah.
step on what Meta's doing. Look, and if you're doing something new and innovative, Meta's gonna take that. You're gonna be gone.
Yeah. Bro,
I
you see
think
what they
TikTok
doing
was
now?
more one of the more longer living ones that Instagram and Meta took from, and they still was
Uh-huh.
able to still reign supreme in what they were doing.
You gotta look at freaking what's his name? Zuckerberg. So
Mhm.
he's been interviewing. He was like on Joe Rogan podcast. He's been talking about how he's want to use some of like Elon Musk tactics on Facebook when it comes to like
Free speech,
notes. Yeah, free speech and like the notes. What they call them? The community notes.
community notes,
He
and
using
the
that.
AI generated users, right?
Like yeah. So he's trying to implement a lot of that stuff too. So it is a game, bro. You grab, you learn from different people, bro. So that's all Meta does. All they do is grab data.
Well,
That's
yeah,
all
because
they
it's
do.
Meta.
It's Meta, bro. That's why he changed this freaking from face just to Meta. Because bro, all he doing is taking everything, bro. Like only he tried to get Snapchat. So what he do? He made Snapchat. He made his own Snapchat, implemented it to Instagram, and that's pretty much what he do. Oh, he already stole from Twitter. He made Threads, like, and that's why I'm saying it's a bigger play with the government with Meta, bro.
But
With like with
also,
Zuckerberg.
especially with AI now becoming a thing, and you can make AI profiles, and they could talk back to people. They could be
B
influencers or whatever it was
B
called.
B. In the middle of the year next year, we're gonna have bigger discussions about AI. You saw what Beanie Siegel's doing, right? He
With his
using
voice.
AI. He using AI with his voice, which is dope. Lupe Fiasco AI thing. We're gonna have more conversations. I think I want a more AI content to roll around to like we have like a really discuss because it's gonna get ugly. Because
Hmm.
like I said, I don't know if I talked to you about it. How like we're already helping them. We already got type beats. We've been having type beats for
Hmm.
years.
Yeah, you
Type
said
beats
that.
is just like, bro, like it's so much. AI is
Skynet's tomorrow. We gonna
B.
get
It's
Skynet tomorrow.
B. We already said okay. Technically, rappers, musicians, always been content creators, but I told you it's more of like it's you could it's different from art content, blah blah blah. But now it feels like content because how they pushing it, and all the
Hmm.
labels are looking at everything as like content. B. So once they got AI, they could just push out content.
Hmm.
We have all the freaking we got the framework already done. You did it for us. We own we own y'all, bro. Like I don't know. Like we wanna like I feel like I don't know how we can avoid AI because we
Hmm.
live, we create, we put
Hmm.
out all the evidence for them to grab data from and don't know what they put in these musical contracts now, because like Lupe is thinking of innovation. Um, oh boy, Beanie Siegel, innovation. They looking at it like, oh man, this is helping me. But at the same time, that whatever you're using, whatever program you're using, what's in there, freaking what they call it,
Software.
not the software, the stuff we
That's
sign,
the
the
uh
agreements, the
users
license
and agreement.
agreements.
Yeah, license. Yeah, terms and
Bro, who
agreements.
who reads that? It's just some stuff, bro. Like we're getting F, B. We've been getting F.
What was the episode of South Park when it said, "Oh, you signed your life away when you signed this terms and agreement"? There's no telling what all likeliness. Like I know some people were saying like, "Oh, if you guys actually look at Canva, which is a site that I help use to make thumbnails, if you
Yeah, I
use
use it
Canva,
too.
you actually can't use it. You can't like sell anything that you make off of it from there
Yeah,
because they got whatever." I'm just like, "What the
it's
heck?"
all
I'm just like,
copyright.
"Yo,
Yeah. So what I was looking at that stuff too, because I always look like back in the day when I used to do like innovation. I say innovation in interface design. Like
mhm,
sometimes I grab icons and stuff like that, and like from different websites, and they always let you know this is copyrighted. You can't sell this product. Da 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 da. So I used to always have to give out some of the stuff I worked on for free if people asked
mhm."
for it. But one thing I was thinking about, hopefully I still remember, what we were talking about. Oh,
AI
you talked about
BDCG.
South Park. You remember
Uh,
that Netflix? episode. I said Netflix episode.
Black
That
Mirror.
dark Black Mirror episode when they did the show with the actors was being and they was AI versions of them inside the show, and they did like, "Why are you using me?" And they were like, "No, you
I don't
signed
think.
your life away."
Oh
Yeah,
yes, I
yeah.
remember that episode.
Yeah,
I
yeah. It
remember
was
that
like through the
episode.
streaming service. It was like a play
Uh-huh.
on Netflix. Like,
Yeah.
bro, it's already, it was that's why some actors was already upset they went on strike because of stuff like that. Because they was
Uh-huh.
already using AI, like people in the background of TV shows, like
Hmm.
AI, like
Or
background
using it for
actors and stuff.
yeah, or using it for
Yeah,
pictures and stuff,
yeah,
portraits
yeah,
for the
yeah, yeah.
background.
Yeah. So I don't know. Hey, my thing is I don't have a big problem with AI because I feel like that's just life innovation. We make things more simple for us, but it's I think it's just a part of like I said, innovation is a part of like life. We started it. Sometimes when you start stuff, it's like it's just an end in cycles. Like Skynet, like you said, V, it's like where do you go from now? Like I saw what you posted when that dude showed that robot. Like what would we looking at that prototype of this robot was what $25,000? How much was it?
I think so.
I was telling my girl, oh, about to have one in the crib. Cause like once they start mass producing that, different
No, B,
companies
you
start
already
making
do
it.
with that little sweeping robot, that little mopping robot.
Yeah, but look, once they start mass producing those robots, they start get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Then everybody I have one of these AI freaking robots in their crib. And that's just how it goes, B. It's like how flat screen TVs used to be thousands of dollars. And now you can get them for 249 on a sale on Black Friday. 50 inch.
Shoot,
This
you can
things used
get
to
that for
be.
regular price now.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, that's just what happens. Those robots are gonna be cheaper. I'll be like, yo, oh dang, I shouldn't have used that word. Hey, Susan, Susan 2000, go clean my TV, wipe it down.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is an inevitable future. Once you start, I don't know what it is. People watch these sci-fi movies. We see what goes
Mhm.
wrong with them, and we think we the exception. No, 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 no. We could get good control of that. No, we can't.
Bro,
It's
bro,
over. Everything is
look at
over. They're gonna start making AI songs. We're like, dang, who is this artist right here? They're gonna make a whole fake page for them on Meta. We're gonna think they're real. They're really not. And artists don't do interviews nowadays, anyways. So how we
hey,
gonna know?
hey, I'm gonna get in my conspiracy bag, B.
Uh,
Look at all the, like you said, the sci-fi movies. Check out all the war films. It's all propaganda. The Pentagon and all of them, bro. They freaking they put money into them, bro. They produce a lot of them shows. Gotta look at
mhm.
it, B. They tell the stories in these shows, these movies, bro. They just letting you know.
They just warning us, B.
They've been warning them. They've been telling us what's gonna happen.
Oh my gosh. But
It's-
you guys let us know what y'all think about the TikTok ban and how it will affect music or hip hop specifically in the next coming days, months, and or years. Let us know in the comment section down below. And last topic that we have 10 of the greatest hip hop albums of the 21st century by Rolling Stone. This is something I see on Twitter going around. You know, I seen some of the blog Twitter pages actually posting this. And I was like, I'm like, I think this will be a very interesting conversation to see some of the albums. I know some people was like, what? This album's on here? As usual. But then some people was like, you know what? Very respectable list. And
Mhm.
shout out to that boy Kirko for actually compiling this. Number 10, or the album at number 44, the Marshall Mathers LP by Eminem.
Okay. Out of 250 albums, and
Yes.
this, yeah, I think
Uh,
I think
yeah.
some of the hip hop albums on here are pretty high. Out of 250.
But it's 21st century though, remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm bugging.
So everything I believe, what, 2000 and up?
Yeah,
Uh,
2000.
Number 33, or number 9 in this instance, To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar.
All
Okay.
right.
Number 8, or number 32, Mad Villainy by MF Doom and Madlib. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be a pessimist. Would this have been on this list if Doom was still alive?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Yeah,
I
that
don't
that
know.
that album was generationally.
I don't trust
Nah,
Rolling Stone. That's why I
it
say
was
that.
generationally loved. It was like general. I said generationally, but generally loved. Like
Okay.
when it comes to like, yeah, I think it would have been. Maybe I'm giving
Number
them too much grace.
10, 9, 8. Number 7, The Carter 3, Lil Wayne, but it's number 28 on the actual full 250 list.
Yeah.
Someone said, oh, here's a sneak right here. Number 23, Take Care by Drake. Such a sneak. Why is Drake so high? Yada yada yada. I'm like, come on, though.
Hey,
That
it could be higher.
see, I like the way you think, B. Even though, if I'm thinking of greatest hip hop albums, it depends on what this list is based off of. Because if it goes based off of impact,
It's doing
I'd be
impact.
surprised if Views wouldn't be on here either. But this is top 10 though.
Hmm.
So, number 18, Under Construction by Missy Elliott. I have not heard this album. I think this is the only album on this list that I have not heard.
I think I heard that album.
Number 12, The Blueprint by Jay-Z. It's very,
12 is kind of.
yeah, out of 250 albums. Obviously, no Illmatic on here because that was in the 90s. But yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, even though no
But
90s
Blueprint is a
album,
classic.
yeah. Uh,
Really good album.
I'm actually surprised that there's not more Kanye West albums on here. Um, Number 8, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Ye. Should
Hmm.
be higher, but okay.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, dang, why not? It's only one Kanye album in top 10.
Number 6, Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar. Okay,
I think it's
I'm
too
cool with
high.
this one. You think it's too high? If I'm going based off of just the hip hop selection, I think it's at a good place. But if I'm going based off of
But
best,
out of 250 albums, like you got all different type of albums that's in this list. Good Kid, Mad City at number 6. It's kind of wild.
it's
My
yeah, it's
beautiful.
tough because I think the Apple list is a bit more justified, even though it was still too high in my regard. But I got to see the other 250 to see like how this is really gauged. Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City the impact is like outside of the people I've talked to at that time
Mhm.
growing up. Like I didn't only the hip hop heads I knew at my school were the ones I was jamming at. Like the
Mhm.
everyday casual listener when I was going to school when this came out, they wasn't listening to this album. So I guess
It's
it's
cra-
hard for me to like.
no, it was a big album. I was back home that summer, like after school, because I was out of high school, of course. But the singles was big. Like, I remember people saying, yeah, bitch. People was
Oh yeah.
copying that.
Mhm.
Poetic Justice was big. Swimming Pools was a big track. It's a really, I think it's a top 10 out of the albums, the hip hop albums they have in here. But I don't know. It's just hard for me not to have like 808s, like songs that kind of like push the boundaries, like albums that push boundaries and kind of influence like the sound of like this 21st century. I think will be higher. Good Kid, Mad City was like probably one of those best albums in the 21st century. I agree with, but it being something that was like genre, like bending or like culturally changing. I'm not saying it didn't make any impact or it didn't change anything because it kind of put more conceptual albums back into the mainstream. But I still believe like Kanye kind of pushed boundaries more during the 21st century. They kind of like pushed the culture a little forward. You wouldn't get a Take Care. You wouldn't get a lot of albums you wouldn't have got without like Kanye. So
So do you feel like Man on the Moon should be on this list?
yeah, I
If
think
that's the
so as
case,
well. I think so too. Yeah, I think so. It's
should
not in this
Should I
whole
try and be
list.
on here? Well, it's not on this top 10. I'm not sure about the whole list.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look at the whole list.
Same. And the number one album, which is very surprising to me, Outkast's Stank Onya, which is number 4 amongst all 250 albums.
Yeah, that's wild. A Stankonia, good
It's my
album,
favorite, but it's
but it's
not the
not.
best Outkast album.
Yeah, but we understand why.
But this is the genre bending thing that you was talking about
Yeah,
for
it is
to a
very
to a
influential.
mainstream audience.
It's very influential. Very.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. That's crazy, but I'm glad to see My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy getting the love that it deserves. I've seen some people saying My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy isn't even Ye's project. Why is Life of Pablo down here? I'm like, bruh, bruh.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all are wilding right now. But yeah, I really don't have too much to say about this, but I thought it was very interesting because it's like you already know B, just like B dot does. They got to put a little effort on the list.
Got to.
I have
Gotta
expected
start a conversation.
you gotta get some clicks to that article
And get
somehow.
that what they call it, that
The
you're
engagement,
forming your engagement forming. Like we
rage
all here for
baiting.
engagement.
Yeah, that's why I hate
It
when
just
people say that. Like, dog, you want attention. If not, then you wouldn't tweet at all.
you wouldn't even have a Twitter account. Well,
I
you wouldn't
agree.
tweet at all.
Yeah, I'm about to say because you can't view Twitter without the Twitter account.
Facts.
But yeah,
I've been finding myself commenting on YouTube videos more.
you
I've
should.
been I've been starting up a little frenzy too in the YouTube comments, B.
Oh, you brave and you bold.
I've been wilding a little bit. I've been getting little updates, people replying to me and stuff. I'll be like, yo, get out of my
Do you actually
mentions.
reply to them or do you just leave them high and
Sometimes
dry?
I do. Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. It depends on what they said.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gonna start getting called that hard R in them
Oh,
chats.
one of the conversations was about the N-word.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But that was the last topic that we had on the docket. B, you got anything else before we close the show?
Nah, man. Maybe I'll see if Act do something stupid this week and we could talk about him next week.
Oh yeah, I forgot we was supposed to talk about that. I
No, no, no,
completely.
but it's more things. I know he's gonna do something wilder. I don't know. We have a discussion about my guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is he for the culture or is he not?
Yeah.
But that's about it for another episode of Beyond Beats and Culture. Let us know what you think about this episode down in the comment section down below. Very interesting episode. We finally got back to actually reviewing some underground artists again.
Hmm.
We took a little break from that because there was a lot of stuff happening. Holidays, Christmas season, the worst holiday,
Yeah.
especially for things to do. We had a good amount of news, but music is still a bit slow. Everybody's moving out the way for the weekend, the pop star himself, and not much is really happening in the hip hop space besides the drama that everybody just wants to bring light to
Hmm.
instead of actually talking about the music itself. But before we head out, make sure you like this video, hit the subscribe button, and make sure to check us out on all streaming platforms you could listen to podcasts, whether that be YouTube, which this is where you should be subscribed to, especially if you want our new exclusive YouTube solo series. Make
Hmm.
sure you subscribe to the channel right here, Beyond Beats and Culture. You listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music if you're nasty enough. And if you are listening to us on that stuff, make sure you support us by commenting or rating us 5 stars to help boost us within the algorithm as well. Make sure you share the shows too, in case you got other hip hop listeners. We said something wild. You be like, yo, like check out these guys. Like, look at what they on right now. Tell them to come over here and hey, make them tell them to comment. Tell them to actually, start a conversation in the comment section because I do like to reply. Uh I think that's about it for everything. If you are a becoming artist and you want your music to be seen potentially heard and reviewed, make sure you check out the Google form down in the link in the description down below where we might, we could potentially check it out. But if you want us to, you can't be sensitive about it either, though. But yeah, B, you have any last thoughts before we close this out?
Hey man, my last thoughts is, like I said, my prayers probably don't mean nothing, but prayers out to all the people out in Cali,
Hmm.
Mad Lib, all the like, I know the celebrities people don't care about,
Hmm.
that they lost things as well. And
It's funny because
you know,
everybody was crying about Janae Aiko. As soon as Madlib, we got to get that GoFundMe.
hey bro,
Got to hit the
hey,
GoFundMe right
I'm
now.
about to, I'm about to donate soon. I'm gonna donate. Gotta make sure, man, get everything back, that equipment and everything, all the
Hey,
equipment.
hey, decades of music lost, B. Decades.
And that man's
That
a
Mad
music
Villainy 3,
machine.
that Maclib,
They be
that
like,
Montana.
Janae go, oh, I lost my beach house. Madlib, I lost my MPC. Hey, everybody, we need get through your bank accounts. Madlib lost his MPC. It's
He lost his
burning.
iPad that he produced Bandana on.
Everybody goes in a frenzy, boy.
Boy, that GoFundMe about to be at $1 million by tomorrow.
Most definitely, because I am gonna donate.
Mad Villainy 3? Mad Villainy 3?
Hey man,
Or 2, I
because I
mean,
already
at
know
this point, 2.
he might put our names up and post it. Tevin Thomas donated $5. But nah.
Oh, man. But that's been it for another episode of Beyond Beats and Culture. My name is Chase the Dark Sage.
I'm T.
Peace.
Man, shout out to Beyond Beats and Culture.